like Randy, like Heather had someone steal $1,000. Heather used to run DoorDash, and she had someone steal, scam her for $1,000. And Randy was like, "Let me send you $50," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll send it to Heather immediately," and that's what I did. But Rob Wood, the same guy who said that he never sent me a voicemail. Once again, you can look at my post history and see that is a lie. I only sent him $20. Get the fuck out of here. Like, common sense has to come into play here. Randy wanted to help me host spaces and be better and be a more public figure, and so he sent me $700 for a laptop, and he sent me $400 after that just to help me. And Rob, for instance, was like, "Hey man, I'm going to a monster truck rally, and my Randy just sent me $700. I'm going to go flea marketing, and Randy just sent me $500." These are all things I remember. These are all things I talked about with Stoned Ape. Tiffany can back all these things up. And then Randy just comes out and says, "Oh, I sent Rob $20." That is a bullshit lie. And a lot of stuff involving Rob Wood is lies. And I just, I'm here for the truth, and I know what the truth is. I actually have a list. I mean, he sent Logan. He sent Logan. Okay, Tuba, but Rob will come in here too, but he will lie. Randy sent Logan $600 for his birthday. I have a ledger that shows every dime Randy has sent, because I used to talk to Randy every day, make sure he was doing good until he just did his thing. So I know this to be true, and Logan will confirm. And if he doesn't, he's lying. But I think he will confirm that Randy sent him $600 for his birthday, but he only sent Rob $20. Get the fuck out of here, dude. That's what you call a lie. No, Rob called me and told me these things. I'm not assuming anything. Now, Rob could have been lying on Randy for sure. I think that, uh, yeah, don't, at the time that I did it, I didn't have a job. I was, honestly dealing with my warrant, all kinds of things. And I was doing everything I could to to survive. That's why I took the money that I took. And the same thing with my Skinwalker Ranch story, right? Um, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's going to turn into whatever this thing is happening to me, where I get upset and start yelling racial slurs and all kinds of just dumb shit that will not happen again. Just don't do it, because it goes against you. It just goes against you. This community can be great. This community can be wonderful. Like King is down there. Me and him disagree on everything, but I still love him, right? And me and Heather disagree on things. I still love him. The same thing with you, Tupa, and the same thing with you, Red. We're all here to figure out what's going on. We're all here to understand the phenomenon. And unfortunately, there are things that muddy those waters, and we get caught up in those things instead of these are all distractions, and these are all things made in moments of your life that you feel weak about, right? Well, but Tuba, if like a whistleblower comes out, right, and they tell me that they were traveling to Black Mountain, right, like Jason Sands did, and he's telling me like I was driving in my Jeep to Black Mountain, and a UFO crashed on the right, and then the aliens opened this door and they walked in my car and they asked me for an element, whatever that means, and then I didn't have that element, and I was like, "Why don't you go there if you want?" That's where they kill us. That's just like Corey Good stupid nonsense. I don't support bringing dumbassery into this community, and that's what that is. That did not happen. It did not
I gotta
happen.
jump in here real quick. Hold on. What you are doing is conflating two separate situations that are needed to be separated before we even start moving forward. You have the technical aspect of his job function and how he found information about this program and how he was able to do all these good things. That's his job function, and the expertise and data that comes from his job function. That's what he pushed forward
Who do
to
you work
the.
for, King? Who do you work
Listen,
for?
hold on. That's what he pushed forward, right? And then you have the experience side of things. And the experience side of thing is more subjective because nobody's there to verify if nobody comes forward or was there with him. You dig what I'm saying? We can verify where he worked, who he worked for, how long. You know what I'm saying? Those things are verifiable.
Uh-huh. You know what my problem is? You know what my problem is, King? As you keep letting people who obviously work for counterintelligence agencies into this community. That's what you keep doing. You're letting
Richard Doty in here. Holding this stuff back?
You're letting David Grush in here. You're letting Lou Elizondo in here. And to put red, do not leave Lou Elizondo for a second. You're letting
David Grush has gone further, and
he has not gone anywhere. He hasn't shown you anything. He's shown you nothing.
To the ICIG, brother. 40 different people. You can't name 40
that was
people.
Not due to his alien claims. That was due to a separate total claim.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Which claim?
It wasn't.
Which claim? Because his claim is literally that the United States, there are people within the United States that are hiding information from Congress that has to do with special access programs, and some of those special access programs have to do with extraterrestrial or NHI biologics and technology. That's what he's claiming, and what he's saying is, the way the program is being hidden is by taking these top secret programs and using them as shell companies. And in order for me to be able to show you the UFO program behind the secret program, I have to be able to read you in and show you the intricacies to show you how the money's being moved.
Because that's what whistleblowers do, right? They blow the whistle, but they need to get
because the law is now that he has to follow these processes.
Because whistleblowers follow the law. That's what Edward Snowden did, right?
That's what
he followed the law. He didn't have to run to Russia because he said something so true they had to run away.
What up, y'all? I know there's only 2 people in here right now, but I want to thank you guys for popping in. This is a Skyfire Spaces on Twitter right now. If you want to join the conversation, go visit us over on Twitter. If you want to pop in the chat, we'll be in here as well. We're just sharing this as best we can, getting the best information out to you guys. There's some good stuff in these spaces sometimes, but we'll see how this one turns out. Thanks again, guys.
Can you
agree
that we
name the other fucking 15 whistleblowers
there were no
in this community,
protections. There were no whistleblower protections when Snowden came out.
Was Corey Good a whistleblower? Was Robert Jean a whistleblower? Was Clifford Stone a whistleblower?
Were there whistleblower protections when Snowden came out?
What? What are you talking about?
Protections Act. You don't even know what that is? The legislation that got passed for whistleblowers to come forward.
I'm very aware of what it is, and where are the 40 whistleblowers, King? Where are they at?
They've already given disclosure to the ICIG.
Yeah, Twitter can be a hellscape. So popping into YouTube, I mean, it could be a lot.
If
you guys ever want anything else shared here, just let me know. I'd love to know what you guys think about the new video with Louis Farrakhan. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. We'll show that a little later.
No one in here, not a single motherfucker in here trusts the government. I don't trust the government.
I sure don't.
No one in here does.
Trust them?
But when they come out here and they're saying, "Hey man, I worked for the government for 40 fucking years, and now I'm here to tell you the truth."
No, that's different.
You're like, "Hey guys, just trust them and wait." You're going. I guarantee you, dude. Put a bookmark in this. Put a bookmark in this. 5 years from now, you're going to be saying the same fucking nonsense, and you're going to be waiting. That's the problem. You're the same person that believed Lou Elizondo when he stole money from investors with his techno scam.
What does that got to do with him releasing the Nimitz video?
I'm going to let you guys wrap this up real quick with one more back and forth, and we want to get to the hands. I love this conversation, by the way.
To the hands.
You're right.
No, you guys
there's no hope there.
No, it's a great conversation, but I do think, Shane, you might be painting with a broad brush. You know what I mean? I think there are some recent changes and advances that have to be acknowledged. Times are different. After 2017, just things are different now. Snowden came out.
2017 was a lie, so let's keep going.
In many ways, I think it was artificial.
2017 off of Lou Elizondo.
No, just public. Just the public and the front-facing government opinion has changed since then. That's all I'm saying.
So it went mainstream.
No,
and we all love
kind
things go
of.
mainstream, right?
It just moved from the fringe into that in between stage. It's about to go mainstream.
Which is literally what going mainstream is. But continue.
Yeah, it's going mainstream. I don't think it has gone it yet. I think we're still,
That's pretty sus.
Well,
dude.
hey, guys, if you have any opinions on that, pop up here. Get your hand up here. Let's talk about that. But for now, let's get to these new hands. We got Logan in the mix. We're going to get over to Megan and then over to Kent. Glad you guys are here.
I forgot my hand was up, but now that it is, I didn't know that Shane was going to be closing down his Buy Me a Coffee account. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, he did give me $600 for my birthday that 1 year. I think was that 2022 or 2023. That was a surprise. That was one hell of a surprise. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, speaking facts again.
One hell of a surprise, and I am open to having that surprise every goddamn day of my life.
Fuck yeah,
there
dude.
wants to emulate that lovely man. The link's in my my bio, so yeah, it's been that out there. Have a good.
UFO Shane the liar, right? UFO Shane the liar, right?
I'm calling you a liar. My Cash App is on my John, though. If you want to prove me wrong, it's like,
hey, dude, I'll tell you right now, King. As much as I do disagree with you, bro, I don't disagree with them that there is nothing wrong with making money doing what you love, and we all love UFOs, and there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all.
Remember, you tried to send me something. I told you don't worry about it.
Dude, I know, dude. Like I don't have cash. I got banned because when I was homeless smoking meth, I used a bunch of Bitcoin, and Cash App was like, nope. But if you ever do need help,
you would be banned off Cash App and Venmo.
I don't have Venmo either. I was banned from Venmo for ordering $180 in Red Lobster in my hotel. I do have Zelle though.
I ain't got none of that shit. I got Cash App. I'm in the hood. Motherfuckers got Cash App.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys have any questions that you would like asked in the spaces, pop them in here. I'm happy to get them over here to Shane or whoever else is in the space. Just use that chat.
If you believe in something that I don't believe in, I don't judge you for that. But it doesn't mean because I like you doesn't mean I have to agree with you. And I hope to learn from it. Honestly, I think Tupa had a really good point. Like me coming a broad brush, that's not unfair to say. But I used to believe I'm an experiencer, dude. I've seen things that make no sense, like 100%.
Hold on,
I don't ask you to believe me.
We got the Australian man living the dream in Thailand.
He has been to the high below in the GM. He's been there.
I think Megan's first.
Thanks, Kent. The Australian man living the American dream in Thailand. I love it. So yeah, Shane, just a point of clarification. Earlier, I thought you were saying you had recordings of me from Spaces, but you are saying you have voice DMs from me, like on Twitter, because I never sent a voice DM, and we have not DM'd at all.
No,
so
I totally agree. You're confusing what I was saying about with Rob, with you. I got sent voice DMs from the space that Lou had posted before what he posted. Yeah, so that's totally a miscommunication. That's understandable. It happens. But no, and in fact, Megan, we put the water under the bridge, so we're not even going to go there. We're good as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, great. Just wanted to clarify. Thank you, Shane.
Before Kent jumps in, Shane, you know a lot of these fucking skeptics. I want to do formal debates. I'm talking like real debates broken down formally. Because I don't think these motherfuckers really know half the shit they claim to know or as deeply as they know it. So I want to do a formal challenge to any of them little fuckers, especially that Charlie Parrish guy. Oh, I want to.
Oh, dude, you can't get, dude. I can't get Charlie. Now, Charlie Parrish is great, but I can't get Charlie.
He's a straight up liar.
He's the first one creating the pro-government.
Hold on. Charlie Parrish is not a man.
Anyone.
Charlie Parrish is a woman. So let's not do that, Panda.
Have you confirmed that?
Yes.
How?
I can't. I mean, I don't want to. Well, you want me to dog somebody?
Oh, I was thinking Charlie Weiser. My bad.
Charlie Weiser is a dude. Charlie Parrish is a chick.
Yeah, Charlie Parrish is.
Wait, do I have it backwards? There's too many Charlies. Facts. I meant Charlie Weiser, I guess. I got it wrong. My bad. There's goddamn 2 Charlies that are skeptics. Yeah, my bad. Dude, God, I hope not. God, that fucking person, dude.
They were raised in Sea Org together.
Well,
Dude,
listen,
fucking-
I'm just saying, set up some debate, son. Reach out to them. They scared of me. A lot of them got me blocked. Even Mr. Cambion.
You know,
Tell
no, dude.
Cambion.
I you know what, King? You know, I can do for you, King.
Tell
Is
him
I
come
can,
get his
Yo,
back.
I can.
these
I
spaces,
guarantee
guys,
you,
I'm talking to you,
get
not in the
Cambion.
space.
I'll get Cam.
These spaces are crazy, right? I don't know what happened, right? But Twitter is its own little animal. But you get into these spaces, and it's like it's another animal. Listen to these guys.
You don't. I love you, dude, but you don't. Man,
He looks like a
Stephen
dollar
Cambion
store
is like an
Neo.
encyclopedia, dude. You don't want the smoke, bro.
He looks like a dollar store Neo.
Okay, I mean that's a weird, like, just random thing to say. About his
Shane's
appearance,
blood
I
type
guess.
is
It's
Colt
just an anomaly.
45,
I
Skinny
just wanna
Bob.
get
You're
him
fucking
cooked
crazy,
up.
Like,
dude.
dude, that dude did a 5.5-hour investigation on past whistleblowers, and they were all liars. One of them got arrested for pedophilia, and you know, but these are the same people that people love. Like the guy that got arrested for pedo shit, people were defending on Twitter constantly, and then he gets arrested and gets sent to jail for 2 years for pedophilia. So you really need to be careful.
I
About
did a
these people,
1-hour book
right?
reading, and yeah, I think I could take him. I got you, son.
Dude. That's a bold statement, bro.
Yeah, let's go.
I hope
you think? Where we
I
want to go?
hold
Mummies with it, or we talking UFOs?
Cambion above everyone else in this community. I think Cambion is literally the most knowledgeable fucking dude. Truthfully,
you
even
want to
above
go
Lewis.
the mummy route, or you want to go the alien route? Which route we going?
That's up
UFOs?
between you and him. But I will call Cambion on his fucking cell phone, and I will do my best to get him in a space with you, dude. Don't worry.
Tell him the chef trying to come in and cook.
Dude, Ben, that's so true, bro.
I don't know if you want that
That's so
fucking recipe,
true.
dog, but I mean,
I
I'm
want
there
all
for
that
it.
smoke. Bring it. Free smoke, free smoke, free smoke.
Lou reviews. Oh, I mean,
Kent Reynolds.
Oh shit! None. Jesus is. What I find most entertaining about our little community is like you'd have to pay money for this sort of comedy in most places. What I find a little bit concerning about that is that the subject itself is quite serious.
What do you guys think of
We have
Kent?
visitors from other planets and other forms of
Kent's
life
got one
visiting
speed,
us.
I think. You know, it's fine,
And
but
every
cracks
time we
me up.
try and move forward, we spend all of our time jerking each other off about how much of a wanker everybody is. Are we actually thinking we're getting somewhere or not?
not for free.
Well, good
I
thing we
think
got Steve Austin here.
I was about to say, I think the Overton window is shifting because there's people outside that are talking about aliens, just random people. I just found out a lady across the street, she's in her 50s, randomly talked about aliens and stuff. So, you know, like it's
Yeah, but
getting
look at
around.
it. Look at it. My wife was like totally non-UFO person. Then she's seen some with me. She's seen all the shit I'm into. Sometimes she'll be doing her own thing, but listening to my spaces and spaces I'm in. I've got to be honest with you. Her comprehension of
Thanks,
English
Jay.
isn't
That's
perfect,
a
but she
real vote of
understands enough
confidence
to know
there,
to
bud.
turn around to me in the car the other day and go, "Is this something serious or is this a comedy channel?" And I'm sorry, guys. Like
I
that's
know what you
the
mean.
fucking way it is, you know.
I know exactly what you mean, but yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people that's guilty of that. I tend to add comedy to it because I feel like making people laugh is sometimes the best way to get a fact across.
When this
Jay,
gets
thank you. I've got
boring,
no
I'm gonna
issue
play
with
90s
comedy. I love it.
commercials. Okay.
I like to try and be a jerk off myself.
Fresh baked bread, piled with extra lean, juicy ham. Oven roasted turkey breast, topped with the classic taste of...
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course.
Introducing Subway's new Turkey and Ham Dijon. Turkey, ham, and the great taste of Grey Poupon mustard. Now for a limited time on your choice of rolls. At Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Shane's comment in a fit of rage. It's inexcusable. We've removed him from our Discord. This is not a canceling. I don't believe Shane is a hateful person, just someone who's been taken advantage of many times by family and friends. Still, this is no excuse for the intent behind those words. Words have consequences, and there is no room for that language, hate, or behavior in any community, and I don't want to be seen endorsing that behavior at any level. I express my concerns privately as well. I wish him and all of you my best. Go get and give some hugs. You have a Shane, would you like to respond to this breaking
Yeah, I actually made a post on that. I said, I'm well aware of all this, and I have no excuse for being a bigot dickhead. Sometimes you need to learn from your mistakes and grow and accept the punishment. So, and that's what I said earlier. It is what it is. Like I'm me, and I've made hateful statements tons of times in a fits of rage. But, at the same time, Rob, the reason why I made that statement was because, like, Mike was calling me a liar. Joyce, his wife, was calling me a liar. Rob was calling me a liar, and they were all attacking me. And I have no excuse for what I said, right? Like, totally wrong. And I need to accept that reality because it's not really the way to go about it. But, like I said earlier, the whole thing came from Rob saying that he has never sent me a public or a private DM voice message or a private text message with a voicemail. And I would like to everyone who understands that I do accept that what I said was wrong, and I will not do it again. And you can take that as cash here. But this guy literally said that he never ever sent me a private DM voice message. He never ever sent me a private voicemail, and I've made that very public that he is a liar. And the problem with that is that I had 3 people lying on me. I had 3 people attacking me in a very public, very, big space where they were trying to make me look like the bad guy. And then I have proved, I think without a shadow of a doubt, through me posting his text messages, that he lied. And so while I do accept the punishment and I am very ashamed of myself for doing that, it was very reactive and I was very wrong in that react that I did. My sister is gay. My mom had her gay stint, and I have no problem with who you're having sex with. I have no problem what color your skin is. I think that we all need to live a happy life. That's my true view. But when you join a public space like this and people are attacking you and attacking your character, you just get fucking mad and you say shit that's off the rails. And that's just what happened. And then you have someone like Rob Wood saying, oh, I never did this. I've never one time. And this is what he said. I just want to be, because Red Panda just asked me. He said, I have never one time. This is what Rob Wood said. I have never one time sent this guy a private voicemail. Well, I posted 4 of them. I could post 18 more. I won't, because I've proven my point. And I just was sitting here listening to people lie to my face, lie on me. And it just really sucks ass to sit there and just be lied on. And then, knowing that I'm like, hey, Rob, like I can literally post it. He said, well, go ahead and do it then. Go ahead and do it. And he called me a piece of shit. He called me a loser. He called me a bunch of names that weren't maybe on that same level, but they still hurt my character. They were, pretty equal, right? Called me all kinds of names. He didn't call me slurs, but he still called me a fuckhead, a loser, an asshole, all things that don't feel great. And I was just sitting here, sitting on this entire fucking thing of DMs and shit that I have with him. Like, you're literally lying. You're literally lying. And I posted those on my page. I don't know what Rob will probably won't rebuttal at all because he's been caught in a lie. He literally said the whole thing started because he said that he never sent anything. Well,
You do
I'm
make
just
a
saying.
good point about accepting accountability. I wonder if you're gonna not be allowed in his YouTube chat anymore either. Ugh. But good on you for
Okay,
taking
thank you,
accountability.
Megan. AKA, what's on your mind? And I know AKA was DMing me earlier. Let's break into this Elizondo email that went out to everyone today that I put up in the nest.
Yes.
Yeah, from his new logo.
Wait, I gotta give kudos to Logan though. Logan, are you there? I know it's been a long day for you.
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. What's up?
Okay, so he played the entire deep fake Greer clip in his stream, and it was just fucking hysterical, man. I was crying. I was fucking crying because he's uh analyzing it like it is fact in that video. And it just was I did not expect him to do that at all. But he threw it in there, the whole thing.
Yeah, why? What was his point about it?
He just couldn't believe how well, sorry. Okay, so this is just my take. Take it right. Sounded to me like he couldn't believe how true to the point it was, how well it analyzed his point or his discussion points that he was making when he was in the channel or in the space.
Right? I didn't know that was like a contention that like we weren't understanding him in that space or whatever. Was that a contention?
No, not at all. I just think that you have got to keep doing this, man, because it is just phenomenal. I am curious what other voices you've got preloaded.
We'll have to talk about that privately for sure. A lot though.
Oh, you do? You have a bunch? I mean, even the Linda Moulton Howe one would be great as well, but I mean just having that feature or just that capability brings so much joy to this because I mean, the idea is not to take it seriously and just let it spew and listen to what it basically spits out, and then take it with a grain of salt. But it was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is it's unbiased, right? It's like it doesn't have any feelings about it. It's just stating like it just takes like the transcript and just summarizes it and gives it, says what's what about it, right? So it's pretty informative.
Hey, can you make one to just mess with Shane? Because I know Shane has a thing with Linda Moulton now. Just one that'll talk shit to Shane and just send it to me so I can be the only one to use it to fuck with Shane.
I mean, I've used that to fuck with Shane a lot, like over the past like year or two, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be running around behind Shane with the Linda Moulton House. Why do you treat me like this, Shane?
Dude, we had Kurt John Mungle on UFO intros, and he tried to apologize for her, dude. And I was like, no. Like, she sells fake alien pictures, dude. Don't worry about her, bro.
But she also exposes CIA agents trying to feed her bullshit. So, gotta
Yeah,
take
and
the good with the bad.
that same agent people defend in spaces every day. It's weird. I don't even know what to do with this community sometimes.
I mean, listen, man. We're gonna find out one day Doty really did help an EB break out of Dulce.
And it did love strawberry ice cream because that's part of the lore, by the way.
Well, check this out. The Nazca mummies can't chew; they can only drink liquids. So yogurt and ice cream might be a good thing to eat.
I guess, man. They only drink. I mean, I guess when they
Is
were
that really a
alive,
thing?
right? That's weird.
They said
They only drink water from the finest of yogurt creeks. There were just creeks.
I was on the fence
yogurt.
until I heard this.
Think about the cattle mutilations and how chupacabra holes drained and the things drained of liquids.
Oh yeah, the face suckers.
Nazca mummies are vampires confirmed. No, I'm just kidding.
Ken Reynolds.
Yeah, I'm sorry if this sounds disrespectful, but I find it a little bit hard to read Lou's statement and not hear the word hypocrisy in my head.
Which parts in particular, Ken?
The bit about where everyone's important and everyone has an equal right to the truth and shit, because that just doesn't seem to be the case.
Logan, I'm doing stuff. Is there any way you can make an AI Lou Elizondo reading his email? Or is that too much because it's like an image?
No, I could do that pretty quick.
Thank you, brother in Christ.
Don't get me wrong. I actually think Lou can make a difference. I respect Lou, but I think he's given us a flavour that many people won't want. That's all.
Can you read that email real quick? Sorry, that's just too words. It's too fucking small.
He's gonna have Elizondo read it. This is gonna be classic.
Oh shit! Fucking Logan. Hey, Logan, have you guys done any more of that remote music, bro?
The remote music? Oh shit! I forgot about that. No, we haven't. I totally forgot about it completely. No.
All right, let's do that again one day. I'm good. Let's create a new genre. I'm with it. I'll do it with you.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
It's like remote viewing music, right?
Yeah, we sit down together and we concentrate, and you come up with your own notes, and then he puts them together. And it actually makes some really cool music. Everybody grabs a different instrument. Do you still have them around there? You can play one of them?
Me? No, not at the moment. But yeah, next time though.
Yeah, they sounded really good. I told them upload them on YouTube. Call it remote music. Start a whole new genre.
Hey, have you guys started looking at this giant head thing? This giant skull that they're looking at releasing?
Oh, bet.
My favorite giant skull there was a dragon skull. They found at the bottom of the I think it was a well or whatever. That's pretty cool. You guys should look that up. But I want to make it very clear. I made statements that weren't fair. I made a mistake there, and I need to realize that and grow from that. And I've done that time and time again. I haven't had to pay for that, right? But sometimes the payments do, and it just is what it is. And so I regret it deeply. I don't like being the dude, but also, I won't say anything on here that I wouldn't say privately to myself. I feel like a lot of people on here will say this shit to themselves. They won't say it publicly. I will. And I guess what I'll try to do is just, I'll just try not to say things I would say to myself publicly in spaces, I guess, in a weird way. But
you should make a donation to the Trevor Foundation. I'm
not going to do that. But I think we're all here for the same thing. We're all here to figure out what's going on. But I don't really get it. I was literally being attacked by Rob and Mike and Joyce. Like I was literally just sitting.
Mr. Rogers is down there.
Isn't
I'm excited about this email. Before we get to it, Darren, have you come across this email yet? Any thoughts on this Lou email? He's coming out of his shell. Lou is Elizondo.
I haven't seen it yet. This is the first I've heard about it.
AKA, do you have any thoughts about it before we hear it?
I think it's pretty powerful. I mean, he's got some, he added some quotes in there that we didn't expect. I mean, it looks like I don't know what, so I don't understand exactly what the messaging specifically, other than, hey, like there's some intent. I don't know what the intent is, but I guess we'll find out.
If you don't mind, real quick, AKA, why do you have just honestly, dude, like this is just me being me. Why do you have 0 followers? And 1,300. Like, why aren't you following anyone? Like, you join these spaces. Real quick, let me talk. Like, why are you joining spaces? Why are you not following people? Or why don't you have any followers?
No,
like, what exactly are you doing?
He follows me.
Who are you? What are you doing? Where do you come from? I'm just confused who this dude is. I've never talked to this guy. I looked at his page and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Shane, what did you do? What is Lou tweeting about? That's why I joined. I just happened to see this tweet.
Dude, yeah. Well, Keemstar asked. So I joined the space, Keemstar, where I was called a liar constantly by UP Mike. And I said, "Hey, Mike, what am I lying about?" He's like, "Oh, you're a liar." I was like, "Well, what am I lying about?" And they couldn't say it.
Ladies and
then Rob
gentlemen,
Wood was up there, who is me and him are in a
Keemstar
feud
is
right
now
now.
in
And
the
Rob Wood's like,
mix.
I have never one time sent UFO Shane a private voice DM or a text message, private voice text message. And I was like, "You really want to go down this road, Rob? You really want to go down this road?" And I was just like, "Yeah, go ahead and post it." And so I did. And so he made a public statement, Keem, that he had never one time, this is his exact words, he had never, ever, 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 ever sent me a private voice DM or a private voice text message. Not one time. So, you know what I did, Keem? I loaded up my old phone, I brought up text now, and I publicly posted that that was a lie. And I got really mad and I called him, the FAGGOT word. And then everyone just got pissed at me. So I mean, but I was being attacked by all angles, it's what happened.
Okay.
There you go. Oh no, me and him are still cool, bro. I talk to him in DMs. We're cool. I mean, but everyone went to the Discord and we're attacking his mods of the Discord for having me in their Discord, and that's why they dropped me. That's what I'm reading in the DMs. Like, hey, we're getting attacked in the Discord because you're a bigot, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, my sister's gay. My mom was gay for years. But I guess I just don't like gay people. I guess I don't know. She was. Well, that's what I do too. But I just make moves that I just they're just
To,
moves.
to be fair, Lou has said that word himself in a movie role, which some people could say, hey, it was scripted, but he chose to read that line. He had free will. Oh, he wrote the line. So, okay, there you go. So,
Wow.
that's a word that Lou definitely uses. So, that was a scripted movie. That's not real. I'm like, okay, but you still did it. You still said it. Well, I think the important thing is that Shane recognizes that he's definitely in the wrong. He's taking accountability for it, and yeah, it is what it is.
Keemstar, let me ask you a question real quick because I love your work, dude. I love I've followed you for years. When someone states a blatant lie and then you post publicly proof that they're blatantly lying, what does that make that person?
Well, not a F word.
Right. No, but probably the L word, right?
That would make them a liar.
Boom. There we go. Rob Wood is a fucking liar. Let's go, dude. He literally, real talk. The dude motherfucking said, and I had Mike attacking me, Joyce attacking me, everybody attacking me. And then he's like, I have never one time sent this guy private voice DMs ever. I'm like, well, yeah, I'll just go ahead and post up my phone here and take screenshots and boom. And would show that you are a liar.
What's Darren doing on stage? Did he find some new pyramids?
Can anyone please DM me the F word that I don't understand? Because it's not fuck, is it? Because we can say fuck, can't we?
Yeah, we can say all the other words.
French word for a cigarette.
Yeah. Goddamn right. He started it first, Tuba. Those claims are claims I can back up. I think if anything, Tupa, I backed up all my claims, as we shown when Rob Wood stated that he had never. I mean, let's make this very. I don't have to keep making this clear. This dude literally said that This is his exact words. I have never, huh, I have never sent Shane a fucking voicemail. I have never sent. Well,
Yeah, we
turns out
got
that's a
that
lie.
part. We got that part, Shane. The thing is like we understand that he said that and he lied and whatever. But we should probably get Rob here. Can Rob come here? Will he come here?
Rob's
I
running
doubt it.
another space at the moment, King.
Oh, of course he is. Of course he is. As soon as you have a public thing, this is how this whole thing started, Keemstar. This is how it all started.
Let's hear from. I'm sorry to jump over you, Tuba, but Kimball, what do you got for us?
I just want to ask Red.
Get Lou reviews in here too.
I had a question for Red, and I was cut off by Red. How ironic. So Red,
Yeah,
that
don't
bullshit.
let Red cut you off.
Holy
Kim.
fuck.
Don't-
Okay, drop
don't let him
Ken, and
annoy
then
you,
I'll speak.
okay?
Yeah, literally Kent State.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't let him cut you off, Kimball.
Kimball, go ahead. This is your moment. Come on, Kimball, be a firework.
Okay, let's see what we can do. So, there was some AI audio played of me last night by Logan in the Jason Sand space. It was actually pretty funny. And so, that's fine. But I just got word that like that same audio is in like the full space that I posted from the Jason Sands interview I did. Oh, you're gonna fucking cut me off? Seriously? Oh my god. Let me fucking finish just
with a
last
grinder.
point. Jesus fucking Christ. And drop Kent while you're at it.
Logan, can you play these moments, please, for us?
Holy shit. Are we honestly doing this? Red Panda, where is that audio from? Like where does it happen in the interview?
No, I know Logan does though.
Where did you play it from, Red?
Logan's having an
You played it.
asthma attack somewhere, laughing. He's wheezing. That's why he can't talk.
It's funny until you understand the context. But Red Panda, where did you play it from? Because you played it in a space like an hour ago, right?
I have not played that audio, Kimball. You were spreading misinformation.
Nice.
Hey, Kimball, I believe you, son. It's not that serious. I believe you. I don't, you know, you're good, son. I trust in you, okay?
Didn't you tell him to delete the audio like you do with the other ones that you don't like?
Logan, did I ever tell you to delete anything?
Oh, like it was almost at the end of every space.
Seriously,
Logan,
drop
delete
Cam.
this
I'm fucking
space.
out. You guys are gay.
He just said gay, dude. He just said gay. Kimball, just like gay dude, I think he needs to go on the same apologetic route that I'm going on. Kimball, you need to bring it forward.
Dude, fucking Shane's the only person I can trust. I swear to fucking God.
Let's go, dude. And by the way, real quick, Chupacabra, in that same space where I was attacked, they tried to use Kimball as a weapon against me. I'm sitting here like, this is one of my best fucking.
Okay, fuck that, dude. But seriously, that is not the route I'm trying to go. I just want. I mean, it's actually pretty funny, and it's like super. It's like, you know how I've said multiple times, there's no such thing as a joke that's too expensive. He would have had to have gone. Actually, maybe not. I mean, he went a surface level deep. Like how? Basically, the question I have for Logan is that AI generated audio. Which, by the way, Logan. Actually, this is my first question for Logan. Have I not asked you to not make weird shit out of my
YouTube
voice through AI
chat
before without my permission? Have I not asked you?
Let me know.
that?
I don't know if there's a delay or not. I can leave my mic on this so you guys can hear me. But let me know. Can you guys hear me talking?
Just a
or
yes
not?
or no.
It's a no. You have said though that
I've never asked you to not use my voice in AI with shit.
You said don't do it in don't record your voice in your space without your permission or whatever, right? So
No. I said don't ever. I have it recorded, so you can deny or confirm.
What
but
he was saying is don't record the naughty stuff.
Hey,
he's-
Tupa, if you don't
People
fucking
hear.
drop Kent, I love Kent. I want to make meds with Kent, but this is
No,
fucking...
I don't. Go away.
All right, peace.
I can leave.
Kent, don't trust Tupa. You can
And,
definitely leave.
I'm saying, Kimball, you have already heard this audio. I've played it for you at least twice now, right?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
So what's the issue here?
All
I'm
right,
not
I'll
sure.
leave the mic on.
He wants to hear it again. Now I want to hear it. So play it, please.
Is it AI or is it a recording, Logan?
That's what I want.
Holy fucking shit, co-host Mir, I'm legit out. See, Jason, if you want to close your app and then hard swipe up and make sure when you see X, you fuck your own ass.
Hold on, before you do that, repost it or follow the
try that
host
then. Hang on a
because you
second.
don't find it anymore.
Yeah, I'll DM you a link to the space, Jason. That way you'll be able to get back.
So guess what part of that was the AI generated part?
Not
None
the
of it.
Kimball part.
Oh, this guy's trolling for sure, dude.
Is somebody talking? I can't hear nobody.
Hello? I don't hear anyone.
All right, I
Come
can hear
talk
you,
about
King.
the phenomena.
I can hear you, Kate. But better.
See, that being dovetailed with something that kind of Reagan alluded to, where can we come together as a race and just stop fighting each other and start making love?
Yes, I think that is something that in the Reagan era I was really hopeful.
Okay, so he didn't say the and making love part. That part I added in. So
And that's what he's losing his shit about?
Look, the dude's clearly distressed about this shit. You know what I mean? Did that make its way out into the world? I think is what Kimball wants to know. Did that make its way out into a YouTube link where other people are listening to it? They don't know that's in there. And they just...
It's in the Library of Congress, actually, too, but the official Jason Sands whistleblower Spaces recording has all the AI added. I think that's what Kimball's upset about.
Has Logan confirmed that it's AI yet?
it's neither here nor there. And I mean, I think it's only over 10,000 people have
That's a
seen
no.
it, maybe.
How bad is this community going to be in a couple months when everybody's putting out false AI fucking statements from everyone else? I mean, this
No one's
entire
saying it's false
community,
AI. No one's
this,
confirmed that it's AI yet.
well, okay, but Kent, I was still speaking.
We're gonna have
This
to bump
entire
Kent
community is
down,
based on false
guys. We're gonna have to
allegations
bump Kent
at
down.
everyone at all times. Wait till people start doing the AI shit. Like it's gonna be that there is not gonna be a community anymore. It's gonna be pointless.
I still want to debate some of these skeptics, though. That's what I think we should start moving towards. We have enough data and stuff that we can take on these people because half of them don't know what the fuck they're talking about. We know this shit more than they do.
Ashton's here, right? Ashton's. I made a video about Ashton a little while back that I sent to him. First and foremost, that it's I made like a music video kind of him talking about planes and like how much really loves them, And I thought it was in good taste. I mean, I think he enjoyed it.
Is that a Lou Elizondo email almost ready?
And I don't know what email I'm still. I don't have the DM from you about what you're talking about yet.
It's up in the nest. Maybe Tuba could read it. I don't know.
I'm down.
Right, and I don't have a Lou Elizondo like a clone on deck right now. I mean, I could make it like in the next few minutes if you want. But
Oh, dude, you got to have your Lou Elizondo on deck, dude. You can't be out here. That should be the first one.
Yeah, he's supposed to have Elizondo, Grush, Knapp, Corbell, the big nose. Even I would even add Mick West in there somewhere just to some seagull sounds and shit in the background when he talks. Like he's at the beach.
All right, I'm looking up this thing. I can't pull up the Nest on this desktop right now, so I'm just looking up his this email. Where did I first hear about the?
9503 posted it.
Oh, did he? Okay, let's get over here to my boy Manny.
Actually, you on the road right now, Red?
Yes.
Dude, what's Manny's whole handle? I hate when Twitter just won't bring up the one guy.
Yeah, dude, you can't hold on, let me find it for you, dude. Hold on. Manny.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Manny 503. Never mind, dude. I'm having less luck than you are, dude.
Real Area 503.
Thank you.
Now let's drop Heather down.
All right, we're gonna get to this.
Heather doesn't even need glasses, bro, and she's wearing glasses in her profile picture. Like, what is that?
How do you know people don't need glasses?
I'm just assuming.
I'm blind without these bitches.
Speaking of blind, why did? Oh my god, dude! I opened up this image from Area 503. God bless his soul, and it's a screenshot of this entire newsletter, but it's like 2 pixels wide it goes down the whole. It's like I'm reading a scroll for rats. This is crazy. Okay, I'll try to read this. I can't even enlarge it. What is this world coming to, dude? People can't post a screenshot the right way. Okay, I'm all up on the screen right now. Like I feel like an old person. You guys ready for this?
Roger that.
Lou Elizondo. Greetings, folks. Thank you again for signing up to my mailing list. I value my ability to directly communicate with you through this avenue, and I greatly appreciate your time and interest. I'm not a robot. Whether you are here because of UAP disclosure or something more, such as government accountability and transparency, I believe these topics involve every one of us. I firmly believe the current lack of UAP disclosure is indicative of a far more insidious issue involving the rights of our people to hold our government accountable for misdeeds, untruths, and malfeasance. While many world governments, including the United States, provide protections for their people, the areas of transparency and disclosure are lagging. The United States Constitution preamble states, oh my God, I'm not going to read that. Okay, after that fluff that he put in there, like he's writing a goddamn essay, there's a minimum word count, Lou. As a military veteran of our great nation, I am keenly aware that this country was founded on the principle that we, the people, are the bedrock and foundation of this land. It was created this way to form a more perfect union. The founders believed in each citizen having a major role to play in this country, and that the government answered to the people, because the government is representative of the people. I would only like to take a moment to ask you the following questions. What happens when a few individuals in our government make decisions on all our behalf about what should or should not be disclosed to us? What we, the people, should believe or not believe? What happens when a few individuals take it upon themselves to control social, financial, or religious narratives? What happens when our system of checks and balances is unable to check itself because elected officials are afraid of our intelligence apparatus? What happens when those that speak out, whether it's against misconduct or apathy, are vilified and attacked for defending democracy and the rights and freedoms that come with it? When did we decide to give up our sovereignty in trade for institutional narratives? When did we decide to waive our rights as citizens and personal choice in favor of a nanny state? These are
Sounds like
questions.
somebody's about to run for government, bro.
Let me tell you about that. Okay, so these are questions I wish to pursue to find answers and solutions for the benefit of our society. If humanity is not broken yet, I fear it is on the cusp. We must all explore and delve into the reasons why we have allowed ourselves to be in this situation. The UAP discussion is just one of the many serious and life-altering subjects that must be discussed. I'm working to do just that. I plan to use this platform to not only promote UAP disclosure, but to expand my influence campaign through harassment. Oh, wait, hold on. It's a different thing. To promote UAP disclosure, but to explore these and many other questions that affect us together, no matter race, religion, culture, sex, politics, or social status. We are all one world. We are all one people, for the people, by the people. And I read that.
Was that Abraham Lincoln or who was that?
Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, it wasn't George Washington?
Dude, I honestly. What do you guys think about that? All right, I'm just hosting this discussion. I obviously have my own opinions.
Sam, it just sounds a little bit disingenuous. A person stating that who is actually literally keeping those secrets from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ken, he's doing it for good reasons, man. He's trying to keep you safe from that harmful information.
Hell yeah. Ashton, welcome to the show, dude. What'd you think about that, Ashton? Was that wild?
Was that Lou Elizondo? Who is that?
Yeah, that was really Lou Elizondo speaking. From the very first paragraph, I knew we were in trouble. Right? The length I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it, dude.
Well, I put out a lot of proclamations and stuff too, but you can't ham it up that much. You know, it's too much. You got to keep it grounded for real people. It's not 1847 or whatever anymore. You know, we're not in the Revolutionary War. Bring it down for people to the level where normal people can understand and relate.
Would you say this is a whistleblower? I mean, not a whistleblower. What is that shit called? Dog whistle. I don't know. It feels like we're gonna have to sit down and read that again and read between the lines. There's something more than whatever. You know, that sounded like a big word scrabble of patriotism, but I think there's something more.
Who's he talking shit about in there?
So you think loaded hit list?
Who's this for? Who's this message for? What's he really writing about? Is he talking about Sean Kirkpatrick?
Exactly.
Is he talking about Bell for saying Kona Blue wasn't shit? Who's he talking about? Is he talking about Cuba?
Yeah, that's what we got to do. Sit down and analyze that aspect of it, because that's what he's doing. He's talking in symbolism. This is secret society moves and shit like that. That's what they do.
Yeah, he's talking to the other intelligence community people. Some of them we probably don't even know. Some of them we probably just know, and we don't know that they're necessarily involved. Like this dude Ron Pandolfi that I was talking about, or that I guess Dave was saying how like Jack Sarfati gets all his orders from him. Like you look this dude up, like he had some big scandal with the CIA like back in the 80s as well. It's like it's people like that. They're like behind the scenes, and Lou knows them, and it's like trying to like send them a little message. And for normal people like us, like we got no idea what he's talking about. It's just like just say
Exactly.
what you mean.
Right. But he's probably just like you said, he's trying to do it the right way. Like, yo, you guys need to come out. I don't want to expose anything. But this is a dog whistle for that type of patriotism.
Nah, this is why I like you, King. I think I relate to you more than anybody else, honestly, because you you just keep it real. But with like him too, like he's got an NDA, man. Like these guys like know the stuff. Like enough of all this bullshit about like, oh, what I know, but I can't say it. Oh, I want to, but I can't. It's like, man, just come out and say it and go to jail or whatever, and have people rally around you if that's what it comes down to.
I'm telling you, if anybody got some alien bodies or anything they want to drop off, I'll go to jail for you. Just get them to me. If you're involved with the government, you can find me. I'm not hard to find. So just get it to me. I'll fucking do it.
But that's why I'm sure, like, I know a lot of people get mad at me. It's like, oh, you don't talk about the aliens, non-human presence. Like, guys, that's fine. They can be non-human presence. I don't care. But, like, you know, I don't think Lou Elizondo's lying or hiding, like, alien bodies and stuff like that. What he's hiding is, like, dude's military. He's former military. I get a lot of people come to me and they're like, you know, my so-and-so, or I was in the military, they were in the Air Force, or this, you know, I was in the Air Force. They come back and say, we got stuff out there that people just wouldn't believe, you know, and that's the stuff they can't talk about. Because that's the stuff they talk about that, you know, they go to jail for, because the reason why is because it helps our adversaries. Like if we have military supremacy and we have some kind of secret weapon, then we don't want other people to know about it. And if you look at UFOlogy and the technology that's required for everything in UFOlogy, you realize like this is, you know, whoever figures it out first, like they're going to control it. And then it's a matter of trying to keep the technology secret as long as you can so everybody else figures it out.
Hey, Ashton, real quick question. Do you think that one of the things they're holding back is like a new E equals MC squared, and they're afraid to give it to other countries because they can't control what their scientists are going to do with it or something like that?
Dude, you actually asked the right question. Yeah, and the answer is the law of conservation of energy. It's not necessarily E equals MC squared. It's that energy can't be created or destroyed. And in that situation, like if we have an ether of unlimited energy where free energy can come from, then we have to rewrite that law because everything stops making sense in that new understanding. So absolutely, I think, and with that, you know, this is what happens when we figure out how to unify quantum mechanics, which just has straight up magical stuff going on, with general relativity, which is just large stuff. It's going to lead to all kinds of super weapons. In fact, forcing us to not necessarily just rewrite all the laws of physics. It's not like we have to throw everything away. Like I had a flat earther yelling at me going, oh, well, you said Tesla was right, but Tesla didn't think there was curvature. So, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's not that everybody's right about everything. Like Jack Sarfati is right about probably the physics. He's a smart guy. He might be right about being able to reduce C to reduce the energy, negative energy requirement for a wormhole, but that doesn't mean he's right about all of it. Like Salvatore Pais can also be right that we can amplify energy as well. And I think a lot of these physicists and stuff, it's kind of a microcosm, or let's say it's relatable to what we deal with in ufology, where there are all these really smart people, but then you get down and you get them together, and then it acts like a Twitter space of ufology where everybody's just bitching at each other like middle school drama.
Unfortunately, that's literally the way most of the shit gets done when it gets down to it. There's this weird chaotic moment, and then from there the dust settles, and then people kind of calm down. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's wild, and I agree with that question, Okada. That's basically it. And that's what's been coming out this last, like, I think 2 years, from interviews from people like Jesse Michaels and Hal Puthoff, Eric Weinstein, all the way down to everything like Kurt Jaimungal, Theories of Everything. And a lot of these other podcasters, Jeremy Reese, Alien Scientist, Jack Sarfati, Ashton Forbes, like Salvatore Pais, Dave Rossi. I mean, these guys are really like tearing down that illusory level of like of bullshit. Like fundamental physics discoveries have been kept from us since World War II. And that seems to be the thing. And when you look at the technological development that took place between 1901 and 1940, right? And you want to go, okay, so that's a lot. And then you go from 1940 to 1980, 80 to 2020. Like We're way behind. The public is way behind. We are kept in the dirt, like almost under the dirt when it comes down to stuff we know and stuff we think that the government knows. And in my opinion, I want to know how you guys feel about this. We got to get over to Paul and Shane. Like, in my opinion, dude, like the E equals MC square breakthrough has got to be so fundamentally crazy, like, as to question the reality, the nature of reality itself. That's why it hasn't been unveiled, unfolded on us. We have not even begin to see like the the hints of it. We have to really pry and guess and study and break down walls. And some people are getting offed. We know people who have very suspicious deaths who are looking into anti-gravity and all other kinds of shit, and it goes on. So we have fundamental physics mysteries and discoveries from World War II, 1940, that were probably discovered by Nazis and all other kinds of weird shit that have just been kept from us. And when you look at things like the MH370 videos or the work of Dave Rossi or Salvatore Pais, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Something's going
Real
on.
quick, because I was talking to Dave Rossi earlier, actually, because you saw that post I retweeted of him where he's talking about, he's like putting Jackson Fadi on blast, and he mentions like Hal Puthoff and Paez as well, and like how they have this beef. And he was laughing too, because I was like, dude, this is just like a Twitter space where everybody's just yelling at each other. He's like, yeah, the super smart engineers and scientists are like just the same way.
Real quick too, but I have to go to bed because I'm like most people on Twitter Space. I have a job. Would like to say thank you guys for letting me be here. Thank you for letting me expose the fact that Rob Wood is a liar. I love that part. Keemstar confirmed it. You've confirmed it. We've all confirmed that Rob Wood's a liar, and I appreciate that. Well, I mean, he did say that I'd never sent a voice DM, and then I showed those voice DMs, and then Keemstar, our boss, did state that he was a liar. So it's weird that you would disavow what your boss stated. Kind of weird.
Disavow how you're framing it.
Little sus there.
Disavow
there,
how you're framing it.
Yeah,
sure,
we're gonna have to go ahead and call Rob Wood a liar. And by the way, join his spaces. Paul Vidal down there who let people talk shit about me. Good for you, Paul. But I need to go to bed. You guys have a great night.
When did I let people talk shit about you?
Hell of an exit, Shane. Hell of an exit. As always, get some rest. Good luck tomorrow. Paul, would you like to answer for your crimes?
Yeah, thank you. First, I'd like to thank Shane for that last little bite of venom into our collective consciousness here. That was fucked up and, generally indicative of his behavior. It's not about anything specific. It's just, the way he is. So, yeah, thank you, Shane, for being...
He's an acquired taste.
Sure. Yeah, I've acquired that taste, unfortunately, and it's become like when you get like really sick from eating the same food over and over, and then you can never eat that food again. That's kind of where I'm getting at these days. But I didn't want to go down this road. I just wanted to, I guess, say I'm glad about where the discussion went after the Elizondo email just now. Tupa, I think you're, and others, you're right, talking about this E equals MC square thing that might be getting hidden from us, and I think that provides a good reason for why people like Lou and others are so cagey about this subject. And so I guess my big thing here, and I'm probably almost certainly setting myself up for more negativity, but I think that it takes all types. I understand the frustration with something like that, with people in different figures. I understand the general frustration, but as an experiencer, like I don't really care that much about government disclosure. And so when I see this stuff playing out, like from Elizondo, for example, I just watch it and I say, okay, they're doing their thing, and I'm going to let them do their thing. Ultimately, it doesn't really mean that much to me, aside from the fact that, of course, I'd like all of everyone else, humanity at large, to understand that to have confirmed for them that there is something there. But at the same time, I understand that there is a process that these people have to go through, or at least they feel that they have to go through in order to not go to jail for, revealing these, equations or for commenting on what they know about actual
reverse engineering programs and so forth. And so, yeah, ultimately, I think this whole like cringing at folks like Lou, and I never talk about Lou, and I hate that I even am right now, but I think it's a little bit much, just take it or don't. And
Oh, real quick, are you gonna go to Contact in the Desert this year?
fuck yeah, I am.
Oh hell yeah, cool.
Yeah, are you?
I think so, yes. If Kimball
Yeah.
allows it.
No, I'm in the same boat. I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I'm fully intending to go. I'm gonna buy it any time now.
I'll see you there.
Yeah,
Is that the one
fuck
with
yeah.
Mexicans? I saw it on the
Who said
documentary.
Who said they'll be there?
Logan, was that you, Logan? I hope to see Logan
Yep,
there.
that was me, dude. That was me.
Hell yeah.
Another year.
Hell yeah, bro.
Okay, yeah, no, I look forward to a reunion and whatnot, and to really just understand that in person, we all agree on a lot more than we don't, and there's a
Guys,
lot
I have to
more
keep on
love
removing
and a lot
Kent
less
as a request from
bullshit,
Kimball. If you're watching
in
the
real life
drama,
than there
Kimball
is
has
in these
requested a
spaces.
one-on-one
So anyway, I
with
hope that
Logan,
anything I just
and
said,
so I have to honor that. So
resonated
get ready for this shit show.
and fuck
But,
you, Shane.
all the way from England, because crazy things are happening in the UK as well. We had stupid elections going on last night that were stupid. I think there's so much going on that is intending to be hidden. It's not an area that a lot of people on this stage would be familiar with, but there's a big congressional hearing going on into a lot of COVID stuff that was hidden. And this week they had a guy called Peter Daszak, who's actually British by birth, but has lived in the United States and has run the company called EcoHealth Alliance that was looking after all the Chinese labs and things. And there's a real witch hunt going on, massive witch hunt to make sure that the government don't go down as a result of this COVID thing. And I was looking at it, and I was looking at the place called Fort Detrick, and I'm not familiar with American geography. And I was looking at Area 51, and I started looking at some of these places where you've had retrievals and where you guys will talk about kingpin or kingsman or something like this, and those words don't mean much to me, a lot of them. So I started looking at it. But I honestly think that, particularly because it's election year in the US, there's so much going on because they are running scared, because they're terrified, because you've got people like Ashton uncovering top technology stuff. You've got me trying to get semiconductor companies that have made billions and squirreled it through Malaysia into trouble. And then you've got the UFO disclosure. You've got COVID, which would totally flatten the whole of the US military strategy to bring down a bioweapon type energy. And then you've got all the China, Russia, Ukraine proxy war, Israel collapsing, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a really dangerous place to be at the moment. And I'm no wonder that there's a lot of people who are not who they say. And you remember when Jason came on and Jason was doing that interview, and I was listening to it as well. And I was taking a few notes while I was listening to it. And he said, there's one quote that I really liked, that he said, basically that our world at the moment is being listened to, is being watched, is being surveyed, that we're not getting away with anything, that it is a word observed. That was the word he used. He said we are an observed world. I wonder what anybody thought of that, or what they made of that term. Has anybody heard it before?
Oh, I mean, that kind of falls in line directly with like a lot of old religious beliefs too, right? The idea that, our planet is very interesting. Our life here is very interesting to people. So I've definitely heard that before, Penny. Good question. But real quick, I do want to get to, we're going into a special segment right now, guys. There was an issue brought up earlier. I want to get this opportunity to make sure it gets handled right now without any interruptions. Kimball and Logan, I'm going to call on you, Kimball. You have the floor. Guys, let it be known, if anyone interrupts, I'm just going to drop you. All right? I'm just going to drop you just because I want to get this hammered out right away. Kimball, Logan, spaces, icons. Kimball, state your
just whatever.
Yes.
I don't need to be titled. Logan, so the bullshit that you made of my voice, even though I asked you specifically to not use my voice to say weird things via AI voice generators, did you put that into the YouTube link that you posted that has like over 9,000 views last time I checked a few days ago?
Yeah. Once again, I
So yes, so that
that first-
bullshit that you made up about me is in the YouTube link that you posted.
It's in the Library of Congress. I thought that was like made clear.
I'm not asking about the Library of Congress. I'm asking about so the YouTube link that has over 9,000 views.
It's over 10,000.
Over 10. Okay, so over 10,000 views. You put some bullshit in there about me asking Jason Sands if he would like fuck me in the ass and shit like that.
What? That is not what it says, dude. I played it for you like 3 or 4 times at this point.
Okay.
You don't remember?
I mean, that is funny. Secretly, don't tell anyone. I do think that's funny. But so that bullshit was put in that audio that you uploaded, like the day of the Space with Jason Sands.
So I posted 2 videos, right? I posted the one that's like missing like the first hour and a half, and that it's in that one. And then when I had more time with like the full recording, I posted that on YouTube, the full recording one. That one doesn't have it in it.
How long is that second one, the full recording?
6 hours and 10 minutes.
Okay, so the first one, how long was that one? 6 hours and 9 minutes?
So the second one, that's the full recording, is 6 hours and 10 minutes. The first one before that, that's missing the first hour or whatever, is like, I don't know, it's like 5 hours about, I guess.
So you inserted a full hour of bullshit into the first the first one you uploaded was 5 hours.
This
but
is wild.
It did have the bullshit in it.
That's right. Yeah. So there's about like 10 seconds of audio that's kind of like seamlessly cut into you talking. That makes it sound like you said that like the aliens are here to like about like love and stuff. And then there's the other. I don't know. I've already played it like earlier, a second ago. What about it?
So, you posted that on where, X or just YouTube or both?
It's on YouTube. On YouTube.
Okay, so that version that you're talking about now with the weird AI bullshit in my voice, how many views does that video have?
Yeah, I'm done answering like retarded questions.
Okay, so deflection. You really don't want to answer. So like the version with 10,000 views has me saying shit I never said. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but here's the thing. You've already asked this question, and I gave you the answer, and it's been repeated like multiple times so far. So I'm just sick of like repeating myself at this point. And yes, you're correct.
Why did you do that to me, Logan? For real, like man to man.
Because it was funny.
Okay, so all right, cool. But you did that to harm me, right?
I don't think I don't think that would harm you at all. I don't think really anybody even caught it because no one has ever pointed it out that they caught that piece of audio and were like, what the fuck, did he just say something? I don't think anyone even noticed it because it's so buried in there, like amongst like hours and hours of the recording, right? And it's so seamless that I don't think anyone even noticed it, dude.
Okay. I mean, that is a pretty good joke. I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying if I said that wasn't a pretty good joke. But I just still don't. I mean, So I literally grabbed the audio. I have the whole space recorded on screen, but it's so big that it took me like 2 days just to get it on my computer. And the quickest available audio of the space was yours, but then after that there was another account, and I'm assuming you don't even know, it's probably a bot, but they just ripped the audio from your video and posted it under my link. But they included the audio of me saying bullshit that I never said in that space to Jason, right? So now there's all this weird shit that just kind of perpetuates all the weird stuff that the hate group had alleged against me. And you still think that's funny? Like, do you just, I don't know. It's a little bit hurtful. I just want to know what you think.
Yeah, I never had any intentions of causing you any kind of pain or any kind of harassment or like anything like that. I don't try to like post like negative bullshit about people like that. It was just funny to me, and yeah, I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry that your feelings got hurt about that, man.
Okay. So you and I signed a promissory note last year when I bought you a laptop, and you ended up using your false name, which is technically wire fraud, just that in itself. I've yet to send you an updated contract with your real name and social security number, but are you willing? I mean, I've got it drafted up now, and I just assumed you were like a friend and weren't trying to let. I mean, it's, you know, jokes can be jokes, but like when people are
Kimball, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Why are you acting like such a bitch right now? So first of all, we already ironed this out. I have already responded to you twice to give me that updated form so I can go ahead and sign it and send you the money. You've yet to do it, so it shows that you don't give a fuck about the money, obviously. You just care about like parading it around in front of people to hurt me for some reason.
Have I ever brought that up before tonight, Logan?
Yes, you have.
Publicly? Have I ever publicly? And if so, where?
Yes, you have. I'm not going to get into it right now. Like, this is not the place for it.
Because you don't have an when and where, Logan. For real. Have I ever tried to hold that over your head publicly? Like, honestly, can you answer that question?
I said, yes, you have.
When and where?
Are we really giving like Kimball the floor to like whine and bitch right now?
Yeah,
I do wonder if this is appropriate for a giant space, but keep going.
Yeah, this is a huge space.
It's weird that I felt compassionate love for Logan a year ago, and I tried to help him out. And my repayment is him like uploading this, first of all, audio that he ripped from Rob's space, which I don't care about. People made jokes about it. I made jokes about it. But now he's adding like bullshit about me to make me look worse. It's just weird, you know? I like Logan. I've sobbed tears in Logan's spaces. Like, he's helped me through shit, and I just don't understand what's going on. It's weird.
Yeah, I said, I told him I was not trying to hurt him. I apologized.
Well, can Logan at least answer like when and where I publicly outed the fact that I bought him a laptop because I genuinely liked the guy and felt bad for him? It would, but the fact that he won't do it publicly, I think, is revealing.
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like it's just like kind of like low rent and like low class to just kind of like air that kind of shit that should be private out in public, and like the kind
But
of
it's
fashion
totally
that you are.
fine. It's totally fine for you to like steal someone else's space recording that you knew was going to be a big profile, and then add. Not only were you stealing content, which again I don't really care about, but then you felt you needed to add AI generated speech using my voice that was like crass and like weird and gross. Like
I thought you just said it was
the
funny.
extra step? Like, do you actually hate me, Logan? And if you do, that's fine. Let's talk it out.
Oh God, this is so embarrassing.
He had the only recorded audio. I think Robbie mentioned it in the space, but he felt the need to like go the extra mile, make me look stupid, and include that in the recording that he put on YouTube, which then other people sapped the audio from that and created new videos from it to try to leech off whatever views it's like $50. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, the fact that he went the extra mile to make me look stupid or gross. It's just weird to me considering I love him and care about him. Like, genuinely. Okay. Well, I hope that's the case. Honestly, I hope I'm overreacting. I just can Logan like provide any timestamps of this to help me like feel less like a crazy person, or is it? Well, hey, there's 10,000 other people in the public who heard me say shit that I never said, but he used AI voice to change that. Like, do you understand why that's important to me? Well, that's all I'm wanting clarification on. But if you want to button it all up for whatever sake, go for it. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't really like pay attention to like the whole numbers thing. I don't.
Yeah, it would take you like 20 seconds to just go check your YouTube channel.
It's like
That's it.
10,000, like 257 or something like that. Last time I got an email about
Yeah,
it.
it's the longer version. I mean, it would make more sense if
No,
you
it's not the
had
longer
an
version.
AI
It's
voice.
it's the short. I said this already. I said it was the shorter one that I included that in. The longer complete
Okay,
one doesn't have it
so
in it.
so the longer one, how many views does that have? Can you answer that?
No, I don't know.
Can you take 30 seconds and check?
Let's ask a better question. What's the point? What are you getting at?
I think he wants to know how humiliated he is. He wants to know how humiliated he has to feel, Logan. I think that's clear.
For real, like after I honestly care about you, Logan. I don't know. I just the one you like tweeted and got all the views is the one that had the bullshit in it, and that's kind of fucked up to me, honestly.
Here, let me just give my side of the story a little bit. So,
you can't even answer the question. So the longer version, how many views does it have? You can't.
Logan, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up.
is.
Logan's gonna answer what he wants to answer. A lot of people don't like jumping, like when someone says jump. People react differently to that. So, Logan, get to the thing. You get to your side. Kimball, in the background, I'm looking up the numbers. See if I can get you any information. Go ahead, Logan.
yeah. So okay. So I don't know why. Like, okay, this YouTube thing. I technically have like a YouTube channel, but I don't use it for any kind of like. It's not monetized or anything like that. Like there's views on that video. So what? I'm not gonna make any money off of
It's
it.
not
I don't
about
know
the money,
even how.
Logan. You know that.
Then why do you bring it up? Why are you bringing up money about it then? I don't get it.
The only time I brought up money, I was dismissive about it because it's like tops 40, 50 bucks. What I'm asking about
But
is
yeah, but why bring it up at all? Like I'm not making
are
anything.
you
out
gonna
of
let
it.
me answer, or do you just want to be an asshole?
Well, you still haven't let me like finish explaining like my side of like what we're talking
Well,
about.
you
here.
asked me a question, so do you want me to answer it? The reason I'm
No,
bringing
don't
it
answer
up
it,
is
please.
because you have 10,000 people who are listening to an audio that has my voice saying shit that I never said. Is that not weird to you? Especially from like someone who loves you and like tried to help you and still will. Like I
Guys,
just
I got to
don't
be
get it.
honest. I don't think this is really appropriate for a space. It's a UFO X Pulse. So you guys have some
Ashton, can you
personal stuff,
just
right?
another 2
No,
minutes,
Kimball,
maybe?
buddy. No,
You
I
really
think
let
I think
Logan
we've
off
had
the hook?
plenty
This
of
is
time,
fucking
bro.
weird.
This has been like
Bigfoot, are you
15
gonna stand
minutes.
for this for real? Like
Yeah, so we're gonna
actually care
stamper it
about
by
this.
dropping you down because I don't know why we're still talking about this.
Okay, so have that be my last question to Logan. Okay, after he answers that question, I'm fine with that.
I don't mean. What's the question?
The question is, the space that you posted about, tweeted about, whatever you want to say, that has 10,000 views. Why did you go the extra mile to include bullshit in my voice that I never actually said? Like, why did you do that as a friend?
Are you, Kimball, as a friend, are you drunk right now? Like, honestly, like I said, like, you keep asking the same questions and I answer them.
Logan,
Why?
I get what you're saying, but just to put an end to it, just give the answer. I understand you've answered. Give him the last one so he doesn't have to
Thank
keep
you,
going
too,
for one last thing. Which I think.
So, like, was it necessary for me to put it in there? Was it necessary? No, I did it because like I said, it was funny. And considering you're like a brother that like we rib each other all the time, I just thought it would be funny.
When was the last time I ribbed you?
Hold
Logan?
on. That had to be the last one. Now,
Well, he didn't even answer my question.
No, I think we're done.
No,
man.
he
I
did.
think
He
we're done.
said,
like, I don't know. You got hurt feelings.
He totally
we get it,
did.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, we are ending this.
Oh shit,
Kimball, he
doesn't matter
no, he answered you 100%. He said because he thought it was funny, and he added
He
to
legit
it.
did
No,
not
and he elaborated. Kimball, we all heard it. He elaborated and said because you're a brother, he thought that ribbing you was okay. It was more like a brotherly prank and not a humiliation effort. And I think, talk it out. You guys will get there. Trust me, because I don't hear malice from Logan's
It's just
voice.
weird.
I feel you.
This will
man.
be my last thing, and then I'll let you guys talk. I have my beefs with people,
Right.
but I really am. I'm trying to help, dude. Like, I've seen people have been targeted by weirdo harassment campaigns, and I tried to help them. I tried to help Logan, and now like he has to go the extra mile before posting the audio. Like, before anyone else, he has to go the extra mile to include bullshit in my own voice, even though I asked him to.
I feel
not.
you.
And Logan, if
I feel you.
I'll wrap it up in 20 seconds.
No,
I promise.
no, because it keeps getting stretched out more and more and more and more.
Oh
So,
my
like,
god, 20 seconds? I can't
Yes,
get
yes,
20
yes.
please, man.
And
I'm
like I
just
said,
saying,
it's working at
fucking
it's in a net
Ashton,
negative
just
now.
Let me have this for 20 seconds.
Dude, why do you realize how weird this is of you right now?
Do you realize
Like,
how
dude,
weird it
like,
is?
seriously, man.
I'm trying.
Video, bro. Just let me
I'm trying.
Like,
Bro,
why do you need this platform? Like, why are you trying to air this laundry in public over and over? Like,
mute this guy or drop
like,
him
yes,
for like 20
let's,
seconds?
can we drop?
No,
Kimball,
no,
please?
because
Would that
I'm
not be
over
worth
this,
it for
dude.
you to just drop Ashton?
Kimball, I don't know why you think this is your
Logan
space.
already
Like, literally,
left.
you're literally making it all about you. He's gone, man. Just end it.
Logan
Like, I
left.
don't know why
Logan
you
left.
need
Get it
this
in
space to,
DMs.
like, get your feelings hurt out here in front of other people. Like, no one thinks this is cool. You look like a loser
Oh,
when
okay.
you're
So
doing this.
Ashton,
I'm trying to help you out.
So Ashton, you've never had your views misrepresented, and you never felt bad.
I don't go onto spaces to cry about it in front of
No,
other
you go on
people
your
and have like a
fucking
personal
YouTube to cry about it,
conversation
bro.
with it.
You go in front of a larger audience to cry about
Kimball,
it.
Kimball, hold on.
If people will
Gentlemen.
Why are
watch
you
you,
being a
Kimball,
hypocrite?
Gentlemen,
I
gentlemen.
stood up for you, bro.
Kimball, this is
And you can't
precisely
fucking stand
Kimball,
for me, even when
precisely
someone did me dirty. It's
precisely
fucking
why
weird.
taking this to DMs
I
at the
like
point we
Ashton.
should have is important because this is a public
this is why
forum.
I'm trying to help
There's
you, Kimball,
other
'cause,
speakers
like,
here
I like
who can
you
share
too,
their
man, but
opinion.
whatever this is like weird, bro.
On his period.
Right. It's weird because of me, not because of Logan, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, he literally made an AI video about me with dancing without my permission or anything. Did I go and like harass him for it? He's made awkward stuff about me multiple times. He even made another video where I was like getting ready to fight Julian Dory.
Right, but
which
everyone
didn't
gives
put me in
it
a
a
good light.
pass, though. Are you okay
Did
with
you
that? Everyone's
did
like,
you
"Yeah,
see
it's
me
whatever.
like try to
On the
confront
record,
him in a
it's everything on the record.
space?
The first thing on the
No.
record for this space, and it makes you look stupid, but whatever.
You've been talking about it for 15 minutes, man. We gave you the floor. Okay, we got it. He said that
Logan was obfuscating.
he obviously
my
wasn't thinking about it. Obfuscating your questions. What more do you want, bro? This isn't a situation. You want him to like apologize
You're not
to you?
Logan,
You want him
so
to?
why you're opining on this at all is beyond me. You
Because
probably-
I've been sitting to
probably
you
need the
cry
mic.
for
That's what it
15
is.
minutes and I'm tired of it, man. Like, this is a space that's not about
Then
you.
leave the fucking space. Are you coming here so that your drama can like trump whatever I've done?
Hold
to
on,
try
real
to
quick.
help
Let's get to the
my
hands.
fans?
Let's get to the. I'm going to open the space back up. I'm opening it back up. I'm glad we were able to handle that, Logan and Kimball. I want you guys to handle that in DMs.
People are
but-
just fucking weird, bro. I thought it was just KMF.
No.
My
The
own actual friends.
no,
who I
Kimball.
fucking
Trust me. It's the arena. It's the battlefield you chose to take this on. It comes with these things. There's 1,000. I don't know how
What
many people are here.
battlefield did I lay out?
No. The spaces.
Legit, all
The
I tried to
spaces
do
is
was
not
help
the right. Is not the right
people.
arena. No, you're good, Kimball. But real quick, we got hands up.
Yeah,
I gotta
good.
respect. I gotta respect the hands.
Fucking
Maybe
weird.
these people got to weigh in on this. King Wakata, you've been patient. We'll get over to Money Penny afterwards. Thoughts?
I guess I'm weighing in, and I'm also redirecting the conversation at the same time. It is very dangerous, this AI stuff, the way it's coming out. Pretty soon, you're going to be able to create a whole thing with people's faces and voice, and you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So using people's, and you know, using that on the Sands thing, him coming out, you know everybody's going to look at that. So putting that in there is really like, he should take down that short one and leave the long one up. But that's different. And I want to bring forward how this technology coming forward is going to make it harder for people to try to say, yo, I recorded this or I recorded that, because 95% of people would just write it off as AI. And are we going to be able to create an AI that can detect stuff like that? Or do we have it already?
The AI detectors are very, very poor right now. They're not reliable. And good point. You know what I mean? He should take that down. That was a big space. I think it was Kimball's biggest moment, and I can understand, especially if you're a little inebriated, how that might feel. 100%. Moneypenny, what are your thoughts?
First of all, I'll pay a lot of money to anybody who can go on YouTube and find who cloned my voice and is using it on a bicarbonate soda advert. And I'm not joking. This is serious. I've been told about this. Somebody has cloned my voice using AI or Replica or whatever it is. I think it's Replica, the AI called Replica with a K, which has got some good stuff on it. But somebody has seriously cloned my voice, and it is being used on American retail advertisements, but mainly people have heard it from. So it's either sodium bicarbonate or baking soda or something like that, the terminology. If anybody finds it, I'm definitely going to find some way of rewarding you, because A, I want to hear it because it sounds gross. And B, I'm going to sue the bastards, which is something I've learned from you Americans, because you're very good at suing people. But I would like to know who's used it, why, and obviously they've done it completely without my knowledge or permission.
Can you sue someone for that if you put your voice out in the public space? Because that's all they need is a few minutes of your voice to train it, and then they're gold.
You say people were saying there's a British woman with a deep voice. Well, I'm the only woman that's on at this time of night that's stupid enough anyway. So I found out it was me. But look, on the other thing with, I've got quite a similar example of this, and I'm glad Ashton is here, because I love making little videos, and Ashton loves my little videos. But he did very politely ask me to not do any more meme videos of him, because he felt it was, bringing the wrong sort of attention, which I did. But I started off by, the first video made him cry, because it was all about how great Ashton was and how he should stand up against trolls, and it got 350,000 views. And it was very moving, and it was all AI. And I didn't ask his permission before I did it, because it was it was an accolade to him. It was a reward, because I wanted him. At the time that I did it, he was quite low. It's a long time ago, because now he's big and ebullient and famous and all the rest of it. But then I did a Baby Ashton one, which was, I created this little iconic cartoony figure and called it Baby Ash, and had him dancing and singing and doing stuff, which also got loads and loads of views. And I love making these things. But I wonder, should you make things that are humorous to yourself, or use AI to do things that are funny to you, and then put them out without the person that they're sort of based on knowing about it? Maybe that's the thing.
Kind of like an ethics question. What do we do now with all these new tools? Yeah, we have to cross these bridges when we get there. We don't really know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. I personally think it's the line. For me, the line's clear. Don't misrepresent somebody as a truth and try to take advantage of a lie. You know what I mean?
Wait,
no matter
I
how
don't
you
think Baby upset anybody, because everybody loved Baby Ashton, but Ashton himself didn't. So, I made a mistake, obviously, because I must have misjudged somewhere.
Love yourself, Ashton.
Yeah, no, for me, it's not a matter of any one particular thing. I think the Baby Ashton thing is a little bit just kind of over the top, but for me, it's more about like the repetition of it, and like even with the Logan stuff, like it's pretty weird to have people making AI stuff about you without your permission. But in general, you just got to roll with it, But if it gets to be too much, like the reason why, Moneypenny, honestly, is that I'm not trying to be a cult leader. A lot of people think that I'm trying to make a cult or something like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want people looking up to me as some kind of demagogue or whatever you see in politics and other stuff that's out there in general. So when it gets too much and too obsessive in that type of way, that's when I need people to back away from it, because I don't want to be that person. And I want to show people as well on the outside that like I'm not trying to foster that kind of environment. So hopefully you can understand that. I have no hard feelings whatsoever about it, and I've never complained about any of the AI stuff.
It's a hard thing to put a lid on. We all, those of us in my generation, we all watched the drummer from Metallica try to slow down Napster and MP3s. You know, it didn't work. You're fighting a losing battle, and you're going to look dumb the harder you try to fight it. The laws and the systems always kind of balance out when new technology is introduced, but there's always the people who would take advantage of it the whole way, ride it and push it the whole way into lengths that no one ever thought of. And sometimes like you get cool shit from that, but a lot of times, you know, not everybody's winning off those things. But we're looking at a world of new tools that we can't trust, and a system. Like I watched a video today made by AI, and it looked flawless. It looked amazing. It looked like in like a film I've seen, like by Michel Gondry or something, and it was just this. Everything on it was AI generated. It wasn't like Uncanny Valley. It didn't look like a video game. It didn't look CGI. It looked 1000% real. It looked realer than real. And we got to come to terms with that. That's the world we're looking at. That's the brave new world we have to face. You know, UFO videos, alien footage, all this stuff is going to be questionable. And, you know, I watched a video the other day, for instance, right? And we played it on Skyfire Live. If you're not following my YouTube channel or Skyfire, definitely give us a follow. Give Red Panda a follow. We posted a video, a little conspiracy video someone posted on TikTok, essentially explaining that AI possibly has been around for a lot longer than we think. That the government and the people who had these tools early on put them to use years and years ago. And that we might not even be, unless you know somebody, like legitimately know them and have seen them and had a beer with them and broke bread with them, you might not be able to determine with confidence that they're even a real person. There might be a lot of accounts like that. And, you know, we see it. And there's probably much more nefarious ways it's being used against us now than we could even imagine. It'll be like when they uncovered what is MK Ultra and all these other nefarious attacks and tests and things that they subjected American citizens to unknowingly were awful and terrible. And I think we're going to find that out soon, with people falling in love with each other with an AI on accident on Instagram. I've talked to several people that have been in full-blown manic states who believe they're talking to Jesus or God on Instagram. And I'm being serious when I tell you this. I've talked to 5 people, at least, one I know personally, who in a manic state, right, a paranoid, schizophrenic state of mind, made the same claim, that they are talking to someone online that they believe is God. And I haven't investigated that to the point where I'll give me your phone, but I think it's more than strange to think, to realize that there's multiple people out there being, perhaps they are talking to a legitimate bot on Instagram that, that hits them up on the low. Hey, how you feeling? I'm God, like that kind of shit. Because there's just no way that they all would pop up with the same story. So there could be things right now that are pushing society certain ways, meant to be perceived as real people, as real movements, as real natural, organic, grassroots ideas and concepts that are really just totally fake and designed to attract like susceptible people to these crazy fake movements. It could be weird.
Yeah, real quick, Tupa, on that, because Kimball had a good point. It went way too long. Like the point of like, hey, I should have property rights, intellectual property rights over my voice, and you shouldn't use that. And especially his point about using it and changing his words. I mean, there's an argument to be had there, but when it comes to the point where it just becomes public shaming, as all you're trying to do, and it's just going in circles, like that's the part where you kind of have to learn to back off. And I think that's where it got a little bit too much there after, minute 10 to 15.
Oh, for sure. I think there might've been some inebriation there, not to call anybody out, but it sounded like, you're at the bar at the end of the night and something's on your mind and you can't get over, you're talking to talk, but you're not talking for a resolution. Kind of seemed like what that vibe was. I'm trying to add people. It's not letting me. I might need to get another co-host in the mix. Sorry about that if you guys are trying to join as speakers. Ashton, I want to talk to you. I didn't get a chance to watch the Glenn Beck interview, but I've been hearing so many good things about it. First of all, congratulations on the interview, on getting on there, and on all your success so far and trying to get this message out. What's your opinion on that show? How did it go?
It went really well. So, first of all, I apologize if it wasn't as much of a debate as people expected. I thought about more as I don't even think there's very many people on the planet who can do a debate on this topic against me. It's just, because you either look at it from the MH370 side or from the videos side. And, from the video side, it's just well, you're going to have Mick West do it or something like that. Dude's knowledge is only an inch deep. And then, or skin deep, however that goes. And then from the MH370 side, it's who am I going to go up against there? One of these people from the independent group that I've already argued with before. So I think it's kind of hard. So when the way I approached it with Glenn Beck was first I want to prove the lie to him. And first thing I asked him were the same questions I said I was going to ask, which is, what does he think happened to the plane? What evidence is there? And then, how does a plane crash up leaving a debris field? Because I think the way to wake people up to this, which I 100% for the record believe this is a real conspiracy that's absolutely provable. What we see in those videos is what happened in the plane. And is that you show people what this story that they've been led to believe. You just show how absurd it is in the face of the evidence. And that's why I didn't even want to talk about the videos until the last third of it. But he brought them up on halfway. But it was good. I've gained a lot of followers from it, which tells me that it was pretty well received. And I think slowly we're waking people up to this idea of, conspiracies can be real. And the technology that's hidden from us, which my statement to the UFO community would be that, this technology will open the door to the disclosure that everybody wants with respect to aliens, crash retrievals, anything else you want. It makes it all possible. So, any specific questions about it, though?
No, I just wanted to live vicariously through you while you're out there doing that. I think that's awesome. And it's cool that it didn't turn out to a full-blown debate.
Kim.com?
Oh, Lord.
I saw Kim.com suing you, or what's going on here?
I don't know.
There's so many Ashton stories, bro.
Dude, it's more drama than I would have ever expected. If they do make a movie about this, you could just do a whole movie about how all this drama and people would probably watch. But God, that was so weird with him just coming out of the woodwork. And then he starts saying, Ashton told me he thought the videos were fake. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, I told you that I didn't think they were fake and that I'm going to keep pushing on this even though I disagreed with him. And all the DMs show that. And then, he pushed all this scammer stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, if a dude who's facing extradition in the United States wants to try to defame me, somebody made that video. I was listening to it 3 times before this piece. It's good, man. Pepper Zolan or whatever his name is.
He crushed it. He crushed it.
That video is hilarious,
dude.
And the only reason I'm not playing it is because, this one person who's a mutual friend of Kim and I set up a DM chat room, and obviously his name's David because Kim replies, thanks for trying, David. And he's trying to get me to, bury the hatchet with Kim or whatever, and trying to get me to call him to talk about it. And Kim's not saying anything in the chat. So I'm just dude, I'm never going to trust this guy again. This guy is literally a criminal facing extradition. He's super sketchy. And then I ignore his his thing to call me or whatever, because I'm no thanks, because Kim wasn't saying anything anyway. So I think I called Kim a pussy for not wanting to even bring it up or whatever. And then he says that message about lawyers involved. And I'm just okay, dude, you're a guy who lives in New Zealand, who absolutely has the money. If he wanted to, he could probably try to drain me or something like that. I think maybe if he wants to do that, but it'll look really bad for him. But he's the one who's defaming me. It's I'm not even defaming him. So I probably do need to be careful.
It's half meme. It's half meme, but also real. Do you think this extradition thing actually plays into it? Because it's one thing to be I think those videos are fake or something like that, but then to add on the extra layer of Ashton is actively scamming while he knows the videos are fake, that seems like intentional character assassination. More so I disagree with Ashton about the videos.
And Kim.com is a smart guy. He's a smart guy. I've talked to him, and that's what makes him scary to me. Is that he's a smart enough guy. We looked through his history. His history does have him turn him informant. He's been a career criminal his whole life. We're talking credit cards, selling stolen credit cards, hacking stuff, scammer stuff. He's been accused multiple times of having turned to the state or the government, which doesn't surprise me at all. So yeah.
Tim's life stories on a video on YouTube. Have you not seen it where his place gets raided and there's
That video from the meme is the raid. That's his real raid on his real house in New Zealand. Because you know how I know? Because when we were talking, he shows me this website with it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy.
Real quick, Ashton, I got a question. When he says that you told him in a DM that the videos were fake. Now, to get clarification on that, this is how I remembered it. This is what I think. Let me know if I'm wrong. It's from what I remember, there was a moment where you were one of the debunks after he had made the wager, right? Like 100K. People came out of the woodwork and they basically, it seemed like at first they had satisfied the ask. They had provided evidence and even Kim at the time was like, Ashton, you gotta give it up, dude. This is proof. You gotta give it up. And I feel like there was a moment where you're like, listen, okay, like live, even on a stream, you were like, maybe it's it, maybe that's what it is, and that's fine. If that's what it is, that's what it is. But then like it seemed like within hours you were like back and you're like, you know what? Fuck that. Like, no. And I remember like there was just this moment where you kind of lost faith. And then you bounce back because, someone proved again that the videos might be kind of jacked and it didn't all come through as clean cut as it should have for someone who have made it, right? They didn't provide anything. They didn't ask for the money, all kinds of weird shit. But is that what Kim is referring to? The time when you kind of like were like, okay, maybe it's not. Is he trying to hold that over your head?
It seems like it. I think because the debunkers do that, the Redditors try to hold that over my head as well. Sometimes
that's
you'll
so bad.
Screenshot the post that I deleted.
That's so.
And even if you. Oh, it's totally bad faith, 100%. It's 100% disinformation and character assassination, no question whatsoever. And because if you post somebody's like deleted message, and my deleted message just says like I'm very ambiguous about it, about like I can no longer say the videos are real in light of this evidence. And the problem I had with it is that it just felt bad to me. Like when you have that gut feeling where you're like, this does not feel right. Nothing about it the whole day that day happened. It felt wrong. Like the story didn't make any sense to me. The idea of the guy finding the picture never made any sense. Like I was going to even tell Glenn Beck, and this is to anybody out there, you think there's a cloud picture out there, I tell you what, I'll give you 20 minutes, go search on the internet out of the millions of cloud pictures and pick out the one that has the clouds from the MH370 videos. Even if you know about the cloud debunk, you're probably not going to be able to find it. That's how crazy it is to think that somebody could have found a random cloud picture like that.
And the Reddit account was sketched. Remember that? The one that
Yeah, and I confronted them because obviously they're lying. Yeah, they're obviously lying about how they found the thing. So just tell me the truth about how you found it, right? So, and then they wouldn't fess up to it. And so it's like, it always felt sketchy. And he pressured me like at 8 a.m, calls me up just when I wake up to this whole debunk thing. And he's pressuring me to say that the stuff's fake, and then I'm going to lose credibility, trying to guilt trip me into it. And I wish I recorded more of those calls too, because the whole thing was, when he presented the bounty, he came up with that idea. The bounty was to come up with the videos without the orbs in it. He was very specific about that. We can probably find his tweet where he mentions that. Because the idea was, show me the source work that doesn't have the orbs in it, that you practice this on. And then I talked to him privately and said, no, this needs to be for somebody to, we need to clarify this. Because it's not just to quote unquote debunk the video. You need to be the hoaxer. And you need to bring the work that you did, because you didn't just come up with the final product in one go.
What do you guys think of this?
You would have built up to it and added layers onto the fake CGI footage, And that was how I've always presented it. Always from the beginning. Kim never really presented the bounty after the first time he talked about it. He never really retweeted any of my content either, which I thought was weird. So I always had a bad feeling about this guy. And this is just my truth. And he may have a different interpretation of events, but the DM that he posted on his profile just a couple days ago from me, where it says I'm going in a different direction or whatever, that's just being completely misinterpreted. That's not me admitting the videos were fake. That's me admitting that, there it is right there in the thing. I herewith offering a reward to $100,000 for anyone who can provide the original videos without the orbs. So that's 100% proof. You guys are all here reading it right in the pill or whatever it's called at the top of the screen. Kim's thing was never to find a cloud picture. That was never it. It was to come with the original videos without the orbs in them. That's 100% proof right there. So
that's true.
You guys know beyond any doubt now that Kim is objectively a liar. Whether or not you like him or not, he's a liar. and he's a career criminal as well. So I'm not going to have anything to do with Kim.com going forward, but if he does try to sue me or have lawyers come after me, I will absolutely destroy this guy. As going so far as to potentially help the government to put him in prison. So I just tell people the honest truth is this community has such a following behind it. Somebody made a meme video about this guy in under 24 hours. Like, everything you try to do to attack me or this community is going to backfire. I gave him the best advice on that stream the other day, which was just to shut the hell up and go away. If he just wants to keep doubling down, I guarantee this is not going to go well for him or anybody else.
What was the last development in your like timeline that caused him to get back in the mix? Because you didn't like name him or anything, right? I saw there was this resurgence. Was it after the Haji twins tweet, or was it after Elon that he like jumped back in, or was there something that you noticed that like this happened, then he's back in the mix?
And that's a good question too. That was really weird because when he first got involved, the story was
Good
kind
question,
of getting to a
Sassy.
peak back in November.
Can I just say real quick? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, experiencing this space with me. I've never streamed a space before, but yeah, let's keep it going.
Saying that as well. And then all of a sudden now I'm getting 15, 17 million impressions per week on it. After the resurgence, all of a sudden, after the retirement, it started getting all this attention all of a sudden. Now he's coming back again and he's getting my replies. I never messaged him. Maybe I brought him up like vaguely, but I doubt he would have seen like
guys
random little
I'll be right
replies
back.
to people where I'm like, no, I don't trust Kim.com. But yeah, then he just starts coming at me really hard out of nowhere, which guys, like, here's the thing. If these videos are real, then the intelligence community in the United States is 100% at fault. And they're probably doing anything and using all resources they have available to try to discredit me, try to make these go away, try to make people ignore them. And you have to realize that. And having some guy who's your asset try to come out against them, who's a social media influencer, finding a picture that you planted like years ago so that you would have it in the contingency. These are all within the realm of possibility, especially if we can warp an airplane. So that's just my thought on that.
That's a good point about like at both of the peaks. It seems like
I lost Red there, but yeah, I think he was saying that, when people jump in there in the peak too, it's super sus, especially on big stuff like this. So anyway, I didn't want to make this all about me. Just like what's his face was saying, it's not supposed to be about all me, but I do know that it's pretty exciting for a lot of people, especially in the UFO community, because like I said, this can lead to disclosure no matter what your views are. The beauty of the MH370 videos is because it's probably not aliens. At least I don't think it is. It opens the door to like aliens can still be anything. Like Tuba could be right. It could be demons. It can be aliens from another planet because we have
Definitely
fast relay
demons.
communication.
They're
It can
definitely
be
demons.
underwater cryptids or anything, So I think that's cool. Still a lot of questions.
We still have to ask ourselves, no matter who's flying these things, no matter who's creating these things, and what kinds of physics are they using to move around? How much does the government know? What's being kept from us? Is there any crossover? Would I be stoked if they were crypto terrestrials? Yeah, of course. Would I be stoked if they were demons? Yeah, Big told you so on that. But not like stoked, like yay demons, right? But the ideas, right? Like what are these things, and how are they interacting with us? The questions you're asking, Ashton, they're definitely relevant to that. And I'd say like the weird types of disinfo and narrative control elements that you're bumping up against while you ask these questions is very vital to talk about, because, not all of us have made those kinds of strides and bumped up against them and had the chance to talk about them. And I definitely think it's worth talking about. Because it's there for everybody. Imagine tomorrow, Moneypenny, you catch a video, you film something, you see something, you realize, you think about UFOs outside the box and realize something came up with a new theory. You might, depending on the value of that theory or the threat level of that theory to the mainstream, you might bump up against it. And now, at the very least, we have the prototype, or at least one of them, Ashton Forbes, in the mix, doing that kind of work for us, so we can see what's to come. Because honestly, Ashton, as you approach more and more scientific facts and knowledge to back up this idea and these videos. At the same time, we're also going towards disclosure at kind of a breakneck speed. So why are these things all happening at the same time? Is it a coincidence? Is it more than a coincidence? It's something we have to see, in the end. Real quick, we got a hand up in the air. It is Nathaniel Hanks. Nathaniel, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Much love to everybody, and thanks for the space. I just wanted to ask perhaps a tangential question about the science to the room, and I guess specifically to Ashton, because I have to say personally, it's been inspiring to get me on board with following the science, and I'm right up there with the Aether and the fractal toroidal moment and Bob Grenier and Sal Pius and Dave Rossi and all those, and I just really appreciate being in that realm of thought at this moment. My question is, I wonder if you have thought about Dean Radin's experiments with mind-matter interactions. It seems
Good
like
question.
that is kind of the discovery of a new, like it's almost like an atomic
It's a really
discovery
good
that there
question.
is a repeatable, demonstrable, dispositive mind-matter interactions with random number generators, for example, or a coin toss generator. And then also perhaps the claims of Malcolm Bindle or Robert Temple relating to plasma with consciousness relating to plasma, that these, and I guess I would like to perhaps also ask, this is an intuition, that if it's not a conscious aether, then it might be a conscious over domain beyond that, that's going through aether, through time crystals, through plasma, all the way down to the Bose-Einstein condensate. And I guess I'd also just a statement, maybe throw a bone to the UFO community out of all the science. It seems like if we can have alchemy generating oxygen from a thunderstorm generator, you might have ultra-terrestrials using this in caves or underwater, by the way, just for perhaps a fun point. But I just wondered about the consciousness / plasma / aether aspect of this, and if you thought about mind-matter interaction.
No, that's really smart questions. And I've thought about a lot of that stuff. I think about it a lot. I generally don't post about a lot of it because I'm trying to keep the case really pure in terms of the content. And I do some little fun stuff here and there. But for the most part, I'm trying to make it like mostly about MH370 and science is directly connected to it. That doesn't even borderline any of the esoteric, even though the stuff you're mentioning doesn't necessarily. So what I'm saying here is just my opinions. This isn't for anyone to believe it, but the ether, the way I look at that is I imagine that the reason for our existence or how we exist is that like our soul or personality, however you want to think of it, is it's kind of like the Avatar situation where, we have like spirit and we go in our bodies, and you can imagine that there's some central repository of all those spirits that are out there. The conscious plasma thing is something that I scoffed at even back in like November when I was first talking to Salvatore Pais. And when I talked to some of those guys, even with Dave, I'm like, man, like, can I believe everything these guys are saying? Like, is everything these guys are saying like really real? But so far, everything seems to end up being real. Like, I think people from the outside perspective who had not been following the case for a long time, and following how we've gone down this journey and putting these puzzle pieces together, would think like, oh no, these guys are just science quacks or whatever. But they're really not. They are very well versed, and they are actual engineers. That engineers are the ones who like try to recreate what you see. So when they tell me stuff like conscious plasma and you start looking into it and you're looking at those orbs and you're going, that's a plasma field. So obviously there's some way to pull off the plasma thing. Absolutely does make you wonder. And then the last thing I would say is that, I want to get some kind of like real resolution to the MH370 videos. In a perfect world, the AARO would come back and say, yeah, okay, you're right. Edward Sealand leaked those videos. And imagine if that happened. Like, I don't even know it would necessarily become national news. I think it still might be suppressed even if that happened. I think that you'd have debunkers going, no, AARO's lying or misrepresenting it or something like that. But even if we got to that, like, I'd be happy with it. And then I'm happy to research and look into stuff that's like, okay, now that this is real, what are the implications of the meaning of life? And some of these other big questions about like, how deep does the conspiracy rabbit hole go with like the CIA and the three-letter agencies? Like, how long have they had this stuff? What does this mean for ancient Earth and ancient civilizations? What does this mean for the pyramids?
Good questions.
We lost him. He's got a phone call.
Maybe got a phone call. Those were great questions, though. Good prompts. Moneypenny, you're next. Then we're going to get over to Chaotic Good.
That's okay. Yeah, a lot of stuff Ashton's been looking at, over the months, that he's been doing this many months. Have inspired me to go off and look at a lot of scientific stuff, but also I've gone into the bioscience of it, gone into things like xenobots and things. But I'll tell you, I found I was looking more into toroidal tapes.
Is it too dark in my
Toroidal-shaped
studio
structures,
right now?
i.e.
Am I?
plasmoids.
Is it?
And
Am I
I came
too
across this link
too dark?
into
It's bright. I can brighten up a
something
little
quite
bit.
dangerous. How to make your own plasmoid at home. I'm not joking. It involves getting a microwave oven, taking it outside, and some cocktail sticks and various other things you'd find around your house. I just wondered if Ashton would like to do a live show where he gets his 100,000 people following him to go outside in their back gardens with their microwaves, and we could have a whole group toroidal plasmoid making adventure.
Thank
and
you,
see how
Derek.
many of us live.
Derek
at
says the
end of
blue's
it.
good. Cool. We'll keep the blue. We'll keep the blue vibing. That's a tough experiment to suggest to so many people, but I love it. You can
I
make
do.
you can make some plasma if you just cut a grape in half and microwave the two halves, as long as the two halves are touching. You really can.
I'd love to do it. I want to do it. And the problem is I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm so frustrated I can't do anything at the moment. And I hate it. So I'm thinking about doing these crazy things. So I need Ashton to talk me out of it, really.
Oh, I like that. Keep yourself busy with some experiments. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Ashton had to drop down. He's coming right back up, though. It seems to just be a glitch with the spaces. While he's down there, Moneypenny, we'll get that answer for you. And then I want to hear from Chaotic Good. Ashton, did you get a chance to hear that question?
No, my phone died, so I switched over to my computer. So I couldn't. Whatever just happened, I didn't hear.
Moneypenny, if you want to repeat your question, go ahead.
So, Ashton, I was saying how inspirational all your stuff is and how it took me off, particularly at the weekend. I was going into toroidal structures and particularly into plasmoids, and I came across this amazing website that tells you how to make your own plasmoid at home, a one atmosphere plasmoid. So it's obviously a smallish plasmoid, but it involves taking a microwave oven, some cocktail sticks, some distilled water, and various other bits into your back garden or yard, as you call it in the United States. And what I thought was, wouldn't it be wonderful to you to take your 100,000 followers and do a live YouTube thing where we would all go into our backyards with our microwave oven and our cocktail sticks and see
I don't know
some
if I
toroidal
condone this
plasmoid making
experiment she's
adventures.
suggesting here, guys.
I'm not sure if what was just suggested is generally safe, so I don't think I'm going to technically officially support doing that, but I do appreciate the idea for sure. I love the plasma physics.
Ashton,
I'm
I'm
hiding behind a tree.
How many people are going to do it in this room? If I give you the site, how to make your own plasmoids at home.
I think you said you might all die, so I might not. But I do want to speak on. That's why I love the UFO community. Is even though there's a bunch of bullshit, I feel like in the broad UFO community, the core thing is people are really like just fascinated with like their reality, and they don't just take like reality at like face value, and they want to learn more. And it delves into all these weird little sub things of like Ashton looking into all this physics and science, and everyone's looking into their different lanes and stuff. And I think it really comes from that like just that need. You know what I mean? Some people like are down and just look at a tree, but some people are like, I want to understand the tree as much as I can, so that's fun.
I knew I bought that Captain America shield for a reason.
It's for the animatium. We got Chaotic Good in the mix. Well said, Red. And also, I love that, Randy. Chaotic Good, what's on your mind?
Chaotic Good, come to the stage.
That was like a strip club DJ. Chaotic Good, stage 2.
Oh my goodness, can you guys hear me?
There she is. Yes, we can now.
Chaotic Good, are you there?
I'm here.
I think that's the chaotic
Go ahead,
part.
you have the floor.
Here comes the good part.
There's long pauses, I feel like, and I'm never quite sure if it's me or if it's y'all.
I'll take the blame. It's us. It's a us thing.
Well, first and foremost, I would listen to Miss Moneypenny read the phone book.
I don't think she can hear me, y'all.
Of all the people to have their AI voice stolen. I will say, though, that's what the SAG-AFTRA Guild strike was about last year into early this year. The top issue that they really were holding out for specifically had to do with AI and deepfake technology because you know, when you have actors and actresses, like think about how many different movies Harrison Ford is. Or you know what? You know who's a good example? If you guys have ever seen deep fake Tom Cruise, the guy looks and sounds just like him to the point, like it's turned into a whole thing. Tom Cruise tried to sue him at one point for it too. I mean, it's astounding. And like, not every deep fake is created equal. Like, I enjoy doing the face swaps, and you have to really, like, everyone kind of jokes, like, oh, it's just, you know, you're just stealing pictures or doing whatever, you're just putting in prompts. But it's like, no, there is a little bit of an art to it where you have to make sure, like, the facial features and the structure of the face align a certain way, or it won't look right, you know? But the big thing was, you know, Tom Cruise has been in so many movies that after a certain point, like, do you even really need Tom Cruise anymore? You know, he enjoys doing his own stunts, but ultimately it's very dangerous. It costs a lot of money. You have to have a lot of insurance, safety equipment, stunt people, all kinds of stuff. It makes movies very expensive. But it also, like, it really genuinely, you know, people have died making Tom Cruise movies before. I feel like with Valkyrie, people got into a stunt vehicle wreck and a bunch of people died making that movie. So there's pros and there's cons, but really the big guild strike was in reference to the fact that they want actors and actresses to have control over their AI image in the same way that they would any other representation of their likeness, and be able to, you know, if somebody does take their AI likeness and does something with it that they don't agree with, they have at least some sort of like semblance of control over the situation, and that it's not just like a Wild West free-for-all where you can, you know, just kind of do whatever you want. And they've already started cracking down because they've had people deep fake and like dial into the bank.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
make
getting
wire transfers into the bank manager.
it's
you know
getting
what I
pretty
mean?
it's getting crazy, you know. But
I feel
the
like
thing with
everybody goes
the
right for robbing the bank first. God love them.
the thing about the AI movies and
But
Chaotic, can you hear me
I
right
mean,
now?
there's a lot of validity to the fact that, you know.
I don't think she could hear me. I'm going to bump her down and bring her right back up.
Can you hear Tupo?
No, she couldn't. Story checks out. But I'll bring her right back up. The Chaotic Good, there was just a thing you couldn't hear me and bringing you back to speak. It's a fool's game to fight what's coming. And as a videographer, video director, video editor of 12 years, I can tell you that nothing like this has ever happened. I was in film school when the DSLR cameras were unveiled. A DSLR camera is what everyone would use now for a video camera. Everything up until that point was basically like a camcorder. It was a big ass piece of shit that had to be on your shoulders. Then these cameras came out with that were basically as good as photo. They were photo cameras, right? The lenses, the depth of field, all the sensitivity, but it could shoot video, and it just changed the game. It changed how we shot films. It changed what we could do, how many people you needed on your crew, and what we're seeing now is instead of shrinking the crew, you just don't have to shoot anything. I've been able to create so many visuals and video pieces in the last year that I would have only been able to dream of doing, even in a storyboard form. Like I've been able to do things that I just wouldn't have been able to do without it. And I never want to record somebody with a camera again. If I'm being dead serious with you, I've done it, like I said, over a decade. This is my bread and butter. It's all I've done, and it's just. If I don't have to do that ever again, not because I think I'm above it or anything, but because the tools that are available to me are available to, you know, my kid, who can come up with imagine when we all get access to the video generators, right? Like, you could do anything. Your dreams will become reality with the click of a button, and our media will be saturated with content that probably no one's ever seen. Like right now, they say that, you know, hundreds of hours, maybe more, of video content is uploaded to YouTube every second. Okay, no one's ever going to watch all that stuff. Well, there's not enough people to watch it. The content of the future, like the very near future, will be just like what the AI music has been doing. Like, I listen, and I'm being dead serious, I listen to more AI music in the past 30 days than I have real music.
Me too. That's my new favorite
Right.
genre.
There's
is
an
AI music.
there's an immediacy to it. There's an accessibility to it. There's a temporary element to it that's kind of fun. Like, I'll throw this away. Oh, that was fun. I'll throw it away. Like, you don't have to think through like the artist. There's no artist to fawn over. There's no cool image to try to emulate. There's no, there's none of that. Those aren't in there because of how temporary it is and how disposable it is, I'll say. And so that's a good thing because by this time, by 2024, it's safe to say, look what Puff Daddy did. It's safe to say that the people who've been in between, the middlemen who've been in between artist and the audience, those people have turned evil for the most part. The whole industry that they function in is evil. The idea of prostituting a creative out, it doesn't have to be like that anymore, because the creative efforts don't require hundreds of millions to make the film you want, or $1 million to get the recording time, or another $3 million to get Rick Rubin to produce a track. Like, trust me, guys. Like, this whole thing next year is going to be so different. All the industries we hold dear are going to be different, and hopefully for the better. There's going to be rough periods at first, right? There's going to be like droughts of creativity at first, and then there's going to be these explosions. Like with a click of a button, I'll be able to, take the show Family Matters and replace every actor with a dinosaur. And then now it's a new show. I could, with a prompt, create an entire script for a series that was more impactful than The Sopranos. And I could create the prompts to make the images more impactful, than Spielberg. And I can combine those elements in 5 minutes, have a feature-length film or a series like The Sopranos. And then it's up to someone if they want to watch the whole thing or not. But it didn't cost me $100 million to make. It cost me, some bandwidth. And that's, we got to really think about that. Our ideas are king now. Ideas are king. No more connections of who how you know them, if you have access to this camera or not, what producer's dick do you have to suck. Like, that's out. It's your ideas, and that's it. And right now, everyone who's a creative should be storing up their ideas, should be stockpiling them, should be, doing whatever it takes to get into a creative mode and start thinking outside the box about what would you do as a creative if money was no object, because that's the future we're all looking at by probably 2025.
I'm very big on the fact that there's predictive programming out there. And I actually, since we're talking about this, put in the nest a movie trailer from back in 2001. Al Pacino was in it. It's called Simone. And the entire concept of the movie is that there is an Oscar-winning actress who the entire time she's actually AI and nobody knows. Like, the fans don't know, the producers don't know. Al Pacino is her handler, and they make it seem like that's basically what, because celebrities have handlers. And Simone is very fussy. She needs a very specific handler, and it's Al Pacino. Well, it's because Al Pacino created her, and he's the one trying to keep the big secret from everybody. He doesn't want everybody finding out that she's not real. And then he has to battle with his own ego because he watches Simone become way more famous than he ever dreamed of being, just as a writer. And he has to kind of battle with his own ego in that, like, he wants to tell everybody Simone is fake after a while because it's all his work that he's never getting credit for. It's a very, very interesting movie. If you like that movie, it's kind of in the same vein as like The Truman Show, if you guys like that movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for it. Simone. No, that's good shit. Logan, what do you think? I want to get Logan's take on these AI tools, and we got to get over to the new speaker, Iggy Sams. And I want to thank Chaotic Good. Stick around. Good questions.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, dude, it's so ridiculous now that like anyone has access to like these tools. I'm so surprised I don't see more of it at this point. But yeah, I mean, I made this cool music video. It's Johnny Cash, he sings that song Hurt, but I deep faked it, so it's Alex Jones is in the video instead of Johnny Cash, and it's actually Alex Jones singing in his own voice the Johnny Cash song, right? And it's fucking brilliant. But there's so many great things you can do and just accessible to like almost anybody, so but now I forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, what was our question? Sorry.
No, that was a good point. I just wanted a little bit of your take on some AI tools. So that was actually really good. Thank you, man. But did you have a question?
I did. I don't remember what it was though.
Well,
I forget.
you get a free pass.
Yeah, real quick. That video that we were talking about earlier, that the guy was crying about, I took it down. So
you did?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, round of applause. Yeah, for sure. I know you didn't do it out of malice. You know what I mean? For sure. I've definitely fucked around and accidentally hurt people's feelings. For some, I thought temporarily was funny. Fucking Paranormal Chris fucking still blocks me. Thanks, Lou Angeles. But you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, man. But I think that's a really good sign of character for you. A lot of people here, I'm pretty sure, are pumped about that for Kimby. But I also know that friends, they do mock each other, you know what I mean, to an extent. And that seemed like it was done not out of malice, but, you know, because you guys are familiar with each other. So yeah, I'm glad that got hammered out. Figure it out. Hit him up. Let him know. And we're going to get over to Iggy Sams. Iggy, what's good, man?
Hi guys, I wanted to just run something by Ashton and see what his thoughts are. I'm curious about the anticipated outcome of DoD Pentagon response with your MH370 work, but in the parallel context of, or by comparison with, the Gimbal Go Fast and Tic Tac videos. So if you go back to those, they were shot 2004, leaked in inverted commas 2016, and admitted to be authentic by the Pentagon, but that's partly because if they wanted to deny it, they would have had to have destroyed the reputations and credibility of David Fravor, Ryan Graves, and the two other Alex something or other, and the Wuzzo Chad something.
Dietrich, Alex Dietrich.
Alex Dietrich, so because there were human witnesses, and also the Princeton radar controller was again also confirmed even more stuff. For the Pentagon to plausibly deny those things, they would have had to have undermined their own former personnel. Whereas your work with MH370 has a slightly different take. The source of the video being a US systems means that the Pentagon can't deny the efficaciousness of the system that recorded the video, right? But what they could still say is, oh, we didn't really know we had that footage, even though it has been leaked, and we've never even really looked at it. But thanks very much for showing us. And yeah, we don't know what it means, right? Do you see what I mean? So I'm just wondering what your sort of take is on that, because in the Tic Tac videos, the Pentagon has done something strange, which is admitted that they're real, but then also you can see why they're in a corner, because the people have already come forward and they're very high-standing people. Whereas in yours, you don't have any witnesses, so to speak, but the system's capabilities are the witness in itself in a different way. Because otherwise, the Pentagon would be saying, nah, Cibers and all this other stuff, shit, that's just this is just a failure in the system or whatever. Point. But actually, if you want to deny it, you can deny it by just saying, oh yeah, it's the first time we've seen it. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. We don't know what it is. Full stop. Hang up. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with anything. I would laugh if that's what they said. They come out, they're like, yeah, we were filming that plane, but we got no idea what those orbs are doing there. That would actually be a pretty funny outcome as well, because then I think there'd be a lot of people in the UFO community who are like, see, it is aliens. They didn't say it was them, and I'd be sitting there going, nah, dude, it's theirs. It's our stuff. But there's no outcome that I would really be disappointed with unless they just try to gaslight. But even gaslighting, like, there's just so much evidence. So yeah, I think that would be funny. I don't know what kind of ways. I think ultimately your question is, what kind of ways are there they could admit the footage is real without like full-on catastrophic disclosure? And I think we've even made that hard, because we've dug into the science too. It'd be one thing if we were just like, here's these crazy videos and they're real and we want to get a statement. But in this case, we're like, here's these crazy videos, and we figured out that it's like equivalent of teleportation's warp drive, and that we've figured out warp drive, and here's all the scientific papers, and here's the history of it, and here are the people that were talking about it 30 years ago. It's like, it kind of makes it hard to say that, to be like, oh, I don't know what that is. But good question.
Hello? Yep. Craig? Yeah, how you doing? I was calling. I want to check on Red, see how he's doing.
I think we got a hot mic situation in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do we? I think he's talking to us.
Oh, my bad.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Red.
Yeah.
It's
I
Craig,
can.
Chase. I was just checking in on you. You're having a rough morning the other day. Are you doing better?
Did you hear that, Red?
For me? Oh, what other day was that? I'm doing great. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. You seemed like you were stressed out the other day. I stepped into the space a little bit late, and I heard Ashton make me talking about people that followed him, and
what's
do
this
a lot
guy
of,
talking about?
Stuff. I didn't really catch the beginning of it.
I didn't even know he was a speaker.
You could catch me up on that real quick, Money, I'd greatly appreciate that.
What was it that you said I brought up?
Well, I heard Ashton when I first got into the stream here, that he was saying something. You're saying something about his followers being zealots or something of that nature.
No, I think that's when Tupac was talking to Ashton about Kim.com. Was that the bit
good.
maybe heard?
Okay, all right. Well, I had a
Yeah.
couple questions for you, Money.
Sure.
You direct messaged me the other day, and it was quite upsetting to me because I have no interest of having followers, being spoken of, not really anything. My interest is the passengers MH370. I'm not really worried about technology. I'm older. I'm quite set. I don't want money. I don't want likes. I don't care if
What's up, Skinny Bob? How you doing?
Didn't like me, I'd be upset. But
Skinny Bob in the
I'd
mix.
Still go forward with
Yo, the spaces I didn't think was going to be a thing.
And the other
It's like
day,
2.5 hours now.
You reached out.
It's
you're
definitely a
participating,
thing.
Hey, you're his #1 follower, and this. And I was like, you're like, why is he not reaching back to me? I was like, well, he probably has the world on his shoulders right now. But I know he thinks highly of you. For Christ's sakes, you made him cry one time when you did one of his things, right? And then I told you about who I am and everything, and you said, oh, that's great. You told me about your dog, Lando. It was lovely. Then the next day you come out and you're like, oh, Ashton, you better stay away from
Thank you,
him. I'm
Derek.
like, what the hell are you talking about?
I really like talking to
I
people.
was shocked that that I was that trusting of you, and I thought you were caring about.
What's up, Sassy? Sassy in the mix.
I'm just reading the message I sent you. It was because he was in this big bust up with Kim.com.
And you said it was all on the back channels that has something to do with money and stuff like that. And
I'm just reading it. Do you want me to read it out, or I'll happily post it if you want? You said, "Great work today. Break a leg," which was ironic because I did actually break my leg. That was Sunday.
It was supposed to be ironic.
Tuesday, I said to you, "This is going to end up very messy. We'll not be standing too close to Ashton when Kim.com hears the full-on attack that is taking place right now."
Why wouldn't you stand next to Ashton?
Sorry?
He stood next to you. You were saying the other day that you feel like he's abandoned you. You've done so much for him.
Yes.
I was like, well, go
Yes.
ahead. You can read the letter if you like.
What is
Yeah,
this?
that's all true.
very
I
good
did.
memory.
But Ashton's a busy person. I can't be in his
That's
attention.
not the way you came
Derek.
across this money, Benny.
Derek, I feel you, bro.
I'm correct.
I feel you.
You are 100% correct. I
am
received a
correct.
message from Ashton saying, "Please don't contact me too much all
And
the
how
time,
about
direct,
that-
because I don't have
Benny,
time
go
to
ahead.
contact you
Sorry, go ahead.
back." I remember telling you, yes, I've got it in front of me. But I said, do not stand. This is actually a tweet to everybody. This is going to end up messy. We'll not be standing too close to Ashton when Kim.com is the full-on attack that is taking place right now on a live broadcast. I actually tweeted it publicly.
Okay. I know. Why wouldn't you stand close to him again? Because you broke a leg?
I have actually broken my leg, yes.
I understand that, Money
Fortunately.
Penny. I don't know. You're redirecting. This is not the way you presented to yourself the other evening. You came across me like, how could I be there questioning you? Because I think my post was prior to that. Hey, can you please just try to keep it positive? Which I obviously feel that I must have threatened you in some way to reach out and DM me.
No, I'm
Because
very honest. I didn't appreciate the pictures of the half-naked men, which were your sons, I think.
they're my sons. I said he looks like Ashton, you hag.
But yeah, I just felt a bit uncomfortable about the photographs.
Listen, lady, my sons and all of us are all
What
about one
is-
thing. We like American women. They have to have three things: big hair, big boobs, and big teeth. And you don't have any of those three. So you don't come off and be like that.
Okay,
you know?
I think it's time. Thank you, Chase. Craig Chase.
Yeah, well, don't. Hey,
I'm
Panda,
sorry. What am I listening to right now?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
I said boobs.
I do not agree with Craig, but I will say in Texas there is a phrase, and it's the higher the hair, the closer to God.
Yeah. So I said the reason I'm so protective of him is because he looks just like my son Ashton. So don't you try to make me some kind of pedo, you old lady. Yeah, she just said she was creeped out because she had a picture of my son. She sent me a picture of her dog. What the fuck?
Okay, let's move on to Randy.
There you go. Have a nice day, guys. Good luck.
Thank
I'm
you,
glad
Craig
you're
Chase,
feeling
for
better,
that.
Panda. Hey, Panda, well, you can come out and say stuff. You don't have to feel like you're circled in.
Thank you, Craig Chase, for
Yes,
looking
sir.
out.
You guys are the best.
Stick
Ashley,
around. Stay up here.
congratulations.
Stay up here. Just let's
All
get to
right.
Randy
yeah.
and then Chaotic, and we're talking UFOs, baby. We're having fun. This is a throwback. Spaces, Skyfire News.
But real quick, I want to know, like, I've got people in my corner here. It's getting pretty parasocial in here. Do we have any Tuba fan club fangirls in the chat, guys?
I love Tuba.
Yeah, put some hearts in the chat for Tuba if you're a fangirl for Tuba, boy or girl. We're not judging here, guys. I'm
No
I'm doing the
judge.
heart.
Fan day.
There we go. I just want to test. I'm just doing a spot check. Oh, okay, cool. We got a lot. Good.
Thank you, Ashton. Thank you guys all for being here. Like Red said, this is it's a callback. We're doing Spaces again. We're back in the mix. Good to see it kind of popping off. And these kind of conversations, they're some of them are tough to have, but all of them are fun to listen to for some reason because we're all sick in the head. Randy, go ahead, man. You're next.
Yeah, and thank you, Ashton, for being positive. Yeah, and I want to redirect back to music. About the prompts. Logan is like really cutting edge. Tupa, like in 15 minutes, he could be recording some of the words that we say. He could in 15 minutes cut that up with AI prop. Like he said, Alex Jones. All of a sudden, he comes up with this beautiful song. It's like, what the fuck, man? Where did this come out from?
Logan's a
Left field?
genius and a facade and
Yes. I mean,
visionary. Yes.
Yes, I mean, like you said, but this wasn't available a couple years ago, and right now it's like this is an explosion. And Logan says he's surprised more people aren't doing this, and he comes out of his hip pocket, and it's like, what the hell? And it's just amazing.
I agree, and I got nothing but love for Logan and his AI skills. He's taught me a lot. I wouldn't be making AI music if he didn't show me the ropes. There's all kinds of stuff that he knows about that I'm always scratching my head, being like, how did you pull that off, dude? It's amazing. I love being friends with artists and having a community full of artists because we sharpen each other, dude. There's just so much to learn. Shit's awesome.
Logan, is there any way we could get AI Greer to analyze what happened between you and Kimball and definitively tell us who's in the right and who's in the wrong?
Can both be right?
I think that's a yes.
Thank you.
Because Kim would probably hack it. Kim.com is a demon hacker. He could probably change the world.
Demon hacker is a classification I had not heard of. And I saw the movie Hackers from 1997.
Ashton, your betrayal has left me deeply
Okay, well, thank you for that, Tuba. Chaotic?
Can I tell you guys about the time I saw UFOs?
Please.
Please do.
Please.
Oh my goodness. So the reason why I think I've been following Ashton now since probably last fall. I think I've kind of
I love
texted
Tina.
posts every time I've been following the material. I've actually seen those orbs in real life. I've actually seen them being tested. They fly. So I live just south of Fort Worth. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I think that you might be right. I think Lockheed Martin might be the one that owns them. Not about 20, 30 minutes from me. West Fort Worth has, it used to be just strictly an Air Force base. It used to be Carswell Air Force Base, and now it's a Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base that's got everybody. It's got Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army, you name it, they're out there. And right immediately next door to this military base is the Lockheed Martin manufacturing facility. And not just Lockheed Martin, y'all. Bell Helicopter is out here. Halliburton is out here. Raytheon is out here. Who else? You got all the big military contractors have manufacturing facilities within 20 to 30 minutes of my house. And so, especially for whatever reason in 2021, and I think it might have something to do with the Supreme Court decision about unconstitutional warrantless surveillance, because I know in Texas the Tarrant County in particular was Dallas and Tarrant County actually both got in trouble for their warrantless aerial surveillance program, where they were just basically flying around in choppers looking for trouble. And it ended up going all the way to the Supreme Court, and I feel like June of 2021, the Supreme Court ruled
Really
that the
sassy.
government,
Top
state,
secret
federal, or otherwise,
bases.
not allowed to just kind of hover over us and look for things to go, look for a crime, basically. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I haven't seen it in a while, but I did notice, when they do, they do. You could tell when
I've
they're doing
been
drills.
hosting
Flying, I can
spaces for
stand
a long
outside on any
time.
given day, and above my
I've heard a
head,
lot of experiencer
military
stories, a lot of
helicopters,
sighting
jets,
stories. This is
all
the best
manner
of
of
spaces,
things.
I think,
We've
when we hear
also
about
seen
these.
lots of plane crashes. Some of those Air Force, like the jets. We've had a couple of times where the planes malfunction and they crash into a neighborhood.
And the pilot's all confused, right?
Yeah, well, that happened in White Settlement, which White Settlement is like the very far west edge of Fort Worth. Like White Settlement is right at the edge of where this Air Force base, or it used to be Carswell, but now now it's everybody's allowed to be there. But yeah, I mean, their pilots have ejected. I feel like there was probably close to Christmas time that happened, where they were doing drills and one of the planes malfunctioned and the pilot had to eject, but the plane still crashed into a residential neighborhood and fucked up some houses. I mean, that's the kind of thing that happens just like periodically. And so like we see them pretty frequently tinkering around with like when I originally saw these orbs, I mean, it's obvious that they belong to some military of some sort. And I can tell you that because when they take them out of the garage and play with them, they fly in military formation. They're obviously belonging to a military, and it just makes sense, you guys.
I've put it in the nest. They actually press released it. There's actually a whole article from the American Navy talking about their orbs that they found.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
They barely even hide it anymore, you guys. We're basically there. So like, unmanned drones are the future of military tech. Unmanned technology. We're going to be fighting wars remotely. They want to have operators sitting in a control room somewhere with a joystick. And operating this drone or this craft or whatever. I mean, pretty soon that's how they're gonna pull all the young men in there, all the gamer kids that typically you wouldn't want fighting anybody on foot because they're about as heavy as a wet noodle. Now suddenly they're the top cadet flying a UFO or flying a drone. And Predator drones have been around since the 70s. I remember distinctly growing up on Cape Cod. There's a Navy base out there and an Air Force base that I remember when they tested, I had to have been in high school. So this probably was 2003, 2004. People freaked out when they first started using that Air Force base to test unmanned drones because people thought they were aliens. Anytime people see something in the sky that they don't readily know like what it is or they can't readily identify, they're going to say it's alien just because people are superstitious in lieu of having actual real factual information. They just rely on superstition because it makes them feel warm and fuzzy, because they feel better placating themselves with like just any explanation that like they can easily just go back to normal.
Well,
It's aliens.
It's very common. I mean, people do not like questioning their reality, right? They hate it. And so if people feel like they have a good grasp on the world around them, it just gives them the confidence they need to get through the day sometimes. And I've seen people be interested in new things and finding out that the system's different, the reality is different than we were taught. And I've seen people be fucking repulsed by the idea and look down on anyone who would even look at it because their worldview is so fragile and they couldn't handle collapse like that of reason and logic. But it's there for everybody.
All I have to say is, man, these orbs are fucking awesome. When you see them go in real life, holy shit, you guys. The way that they maneuver, how fast they can move forwards, all directions. They can hover, they can make hairpin turns, they can do things that like they move like a drone, but they're fast like a jet. It's absurd. I'm incredibly thankful that we have them. Now that we know that the Chinese military has been lying about how much money they spend on their budget every year. I don't know if you guys saw that shit come out this week. They are pound for pound spending the same money that we are towards their military development. I would not be shocked. And I thought for a long time that the reason why the military denied knowing anything about it was because there was a chance they could have belonged to China.
Good point, Sassy.
And it wouldn't shock me if some of them did. Because there's been a hypersonic arms race quietly happening in the background while everybody else is watching American Idol at 8 o'clock every week. It's the Cold War 2.0. You know, so this is it is future weapons, you know, and that concept scares people quite a bit. The idea, you know, but there's a lot of technology that's been in development for a long time. It takes the military a god awful long time to develop something new, something that they've never used. I mean, look at how long it's taken them to work on the railgun, you know, and that's a technology that they still can't even use all the way. They've been working on it since the 70s. They still can't figure it the fuck out. My personal favorite, the one I'm the most sad that they abandoned, the vomit gun. You guys, DARPA developed a
I don't think
ray
they
gun.
abandoned that though.
I'm sad that they abandoned because they can't, because it basically, like, you can't make a weapon that makes people sick, you guys. That, like, violates the Geneva Convention.
Oh,
I'm
they're
surprised
doing
they
way
got that
worse.
far.
They're doing way worse than that. So that's where they're like crossing sound waves at a focal point. And that focal point's your gut, and they play a frequency that violently vibrates your gut and your system, and you feel like your insides are coming out of your outsides.
You violently projectile vomit until it incapacitates you.
and
They play
shit.
it through a loudspeaker at an unruly crowd to get them to all shut up and stop. It's amazing.
But have you heard about what
can't
they did in
do
Desert
that.
Storm though, Catica? Have you heard about the voice of God technology? They
Yes.
yeah, they told people
Yes.
Allah, this is Allah, lay down your arms to whole, you know, troops and shit, dude, whole platoons. It was the things that they're doing now. They probably all violate the Geneva Convention and all those things because the technology exceeds what the Geneva Code planned for. Is what it seems like to me.
Well, people would definitely cry extra if we were mainstream using a weapon that just made people projectile vomit until they capitulated. I'm just saying, they abandoned it. I'm sad, but I'm honestly surprised they ever got it that far. But that's not to say, but again, it's just like there's so much future tech that they tinker around with, and there's so many ideas that are possible. There's only so much money to go around, and although the black budget is a bottomless pit in every way, shape, form, and fashion, because the reason why it's a black budget is because some of them are just stuffing that money into their fucking pockets at the end of the day. You know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of development, and you know, sometimes they'll start an idea and get it 3/4 of the way to the finish line, and they got to stop because something doesn't work right, you know, or they try to get something to cross the finish line that really shouldn't, and then we end up with a whole fleet of Lockheed Martin jets that can't even fly because there's some stupid little piece of plastic in the dashboard that basically renders like billions of dollars worth of military equipment. It's fucking useless.
Have you ever heard of the electric universe theory?
Tell me about it.
So there's a theory, alternate idea of physics that started honestly way back, early 1930s. A man named Immanuel Velikovsky started this, and essentially what it says is that gravity is too weak to do the things that we thought it was doing. And by the time we caught up to that, they were using gravity and the theory of relativity and all this stuff. They were using it to mask the new physics. And a lot of the new physics, if not all of it, is based around electromagnetics. Electricity and magnetics are the things that run the universe. That's the attractive force that keeps everything together. That's the attractive force that they haven't tried to account for. So when they look out in the universe and they go, gravity's not strong enough to hold these galaxies together or these stars together, or these systems together. What is it? They came up with these fake ideas like dark matter, anti-gravity, that kind of stuff. Or not anti-gravity, but antimatter. And in reality, the issue is that we were being led astray to think that gravity is the only thing out there. It's king. It's not. So we have all these new ideas based on this idea that the electromagnetic forces are what's doing it. And when you look at it, it actually makes a lot of sense. Not on some flat earth shit, but on just regular shit. When you look at the beginnings of the electrical engineering like geniuses who were cracking all this stuff, they were doing it alongside a lot of these experimental physicists and whatnot, right? You have like Heaviside, you have Maxwell, you got all these different people who were doing this around the same time, and it would have been much easier to put their projects under wraps, which they did. Charles Proteus Steinmetz was one of them. These guys had breakthroughs in how strong electricity was and what it could do at high frequencies and high voltages. Obviously we have Tesla in the mix, and he's like the cheerleader of it. He's like the most famous person of this kind of like group, but almost everyone in this group was doing this. And then you get into UFO stuff, like with Thomas Townsend Brown. And what he was doing, I think he has the most advanced known studies of this stuff. He was doing something called electrogravitics, which was using electricity to counteract gravity, which is went totally underground. And now we're looking at these UFOs. We're looking at these spheres, which seem to be circling MH370 on film in two different angles. We're looking at other footage of 3 orbs or spheres circling around planes and other flying objects in the sky. This is a phenomenon that I think the lid has been blown off of now. And the reason, or the physics that these things are using to maneuver, are probably what they've been keeping from us forever, right? And it comes down to, I think, this electrical universe idea. And again, if you overlaid the beginning of this theory with the people who were looking into it, who were pushing it, and you overlaid that on a timeline with the people who were pushing, or just the developments and the secrecy and the UFO secrecy and all that stuff, there's a lot of correlations. As someone who's looked into this a lot, there's a lot of correlations. A lot of the projects that went underground, the timing in which they went underground, and a lot of the fake findings that kind of got pumped up through academia that honestly and clearly led a lot of people down the wrong path. It was wild
Oh,
goose chase.
absolutely. I was gonna say the only reason why we have to charge our phones and fucking pay for it, y'all, is because Thomas Edison electrocuted an elephant at a World's Fair and scared the bejesus out of a crowd of people. That's why we don't have free energy right now. When we talk about, I know Ashton loves the Malaysian airplane. The thing that brought me to this point that I center most of my research around is chaos theory, hence the name. But it's chaos theory mathematics, including the Drunkard's Walk. If you haven't read that book, it's amazing. But it really, the fact that the decisions that we make have implications that reverb throughout human history in ways that we can never possibly completely know. Nobody could have ever possibly anticipated that Thomas Edison, having really fucked up marketing, would completely alter the course of human history and technological development for all time.
Well, I think it's way bigger than that. I mean, I definitely know the story, right? Where there was this battle between alternating current, direct current, Tesla, Edison, and then this weird marketing thing that took place where it was like propaganda, right? I agree, and I think that on the surface level that's there, but I do think to a certain extent that's the story we're told. I think it goes much deeper than that. I think it goes way, way deeper than that into honestly, and this is, I know this is conspiracy level stuff, but there's a lot of covered up history, even of our known recorded history. Like there's a lot of artifacts and objects and architecture that just doesn't make sense unless the people, 1,000, 2,000 years ago knew something about electricity that we forgot. And I think as people started to discover this and rediscover it, what they were finding at the same time Tesla was around, you got to remember, like Egypt for a long period of time was under sand, and rich guys and rich kids were going, to Egypt to dig this stuff out, and they were finding all these artifacts, and they were finding all this symbology that was hidden before. And it's interesting that that was all occurring around the same time as these electrical discoveries and revolutions and theories were being popped out. It's almost like everything was converging, but was one feeding the other. We don't know. By the time
the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds amassed quite a substantial amount of wealth, basically being anthropologists or archaeologists, but really we know that they were just fucking treasure hunters.
Well, yeah,
they would go in and loot the bitch and then say it's science. Oh,
sure.
We found science, you guys. Yeah, this is where they buried the dead guy. Don't worry about the gold we found, though. We'll take care of it.
Well, Chaotic, do you think if a Rockefeller found a tomb that rewrote history and had a bunch of hidden technology in it, that they would announce that? Or would they?
Oh, no.
Yeah, they take it to a private company lab that was funded by a government, a shell company, and they would run their shit there. You know what I mean? That's what they would do, and that's probably exactly what happened, and exactly what's been happening. Because a lot of this stuff, that's the thrill, I think, that's involved in the electric universe theories or whatever, is that when you look back, electricity is so fundamental and it's so consistent, and it's like fractal, like. there's a lot of symbols can be are representations of electrical arcing or plasma physics, right? A lot of our old symbols, a lot of people definitely knew something. The nature of electricity might have even been different. Like for instance, and we're going to go over to the hands if there are any up, but like we can't see magnetic fields, but we do know that magnetic fields exist. We can feel them. We also know that under a specific type of light or light wave, they probably are visible. There's no way of knowing if the atmosphere provided a type of medium, right? A type of ether, no pun intended, but that illuminated magnetic fields. Existence would have been so different for a human species or a human era if people back then could see that information, like literally just see it and incorporate it in their inventions and their food and their lifestyle and their religion and their faith, everything. There's all different types of conditions that can be different that would provide for a new perspective, a new sight. But real quick, we got a new hand up in the room. It's Al. How you doing?
Yeah, Tufa, I was just going to add on to your electric universe. Some of the largest scale structures that we're aware of are filaments, and a lot of it has to do with plasma physics. And one of the things that tends to be lost is the interrelation between electromagnetism and gravity, right? I mean, we only see about 0.003% of the electromagnetic spectrum. I mean, the universe is made of it. It is formulating a multitude of things within quantum mechanics. I mean, to conquer and to understand quantum gravity, right? The Planck density, the density is that you can fit 1 billion galaxies into the atomic nuclei. I mean, that is the sheer capability of the Hilbert space that contains all of these quantum histories. And there are some researchers that have gone as far as to think that neural networking is actually embedded in space-time, because neurons and particles, they both follow state vectors. And within space-time could be all of these quantum histories embedded. There are papers on this. If you look up history Hilbert space, David Hilbert,
this guy's dropping knowledge for real. Guys, I'm going to drop my buy me a coffee link
is that
down here. Don't feel obligated.
As
you know, our Skyfire channel is down. We've got no memberships on Chupacabra.
And
but if you want to help
help
us ride out this wave,
that networking is almost an unbounding amount of energy that can bend space and time, more so time than anything.
Langy Gay, thanks for being here, dude.
The electric universe, it's definitely
Skinny
interesting.
Bob, I think it is direct energy weapons. In case you guys thought that was Mountain Dew weapons.
While you were talking about that, I went ahead and pulled the Gateway papers from the CIA, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in here for everybody. Again, it's theoretical physics, it's theoretical science, but like if you can prove it enough times, like in real life, I mean, that to me, if I don't necessarily need an acronym agency to confirm something for me to know that it's true, because at this point I believe what I see and with my own eyes and what I experience in front of me more than what a government representative is going to tell me.
Good head on her shoulders.
And so when I see things like the CIA Gateway papers and I'm reading through it going, holy shit, this is the same thing that like monks in Tibet do, monks that go into deep meditation, and then the fact that sort of
and my camera disconnect from my computer,
your left brain, right brain kind of situation gets you into a stasis where you can have like transcendent level thoughts. That's something that is present in every civilization going all the way back through recorded history, as far back as we are even able to be aware of. So there's something in my mind, there's something to it. If we keep seeing it over and over and over again, granted that is the definition of insanity and people as a group are fucking insane, but there's got to be merit to it if it has survived over tens of thousands of years. There has to be merit to it or people would have let it die forever ago. It wouldn't have survived this long. So that's fun. If you guys want to get one with the universe, there's some CIA documents that will give you a roadmap.
No, I love that. The Gateway papers are definitely like they're paradigm shifting if you find them and look at. I definitely recommend everybody does. And Kat, I have a film called the Shadows of the Invisible Sun I put out a couple years ago. I just dropped the sequel this year, but it's all about the Gateway Papers. It's about one of the guys that was referenced in it, Itzhak Bentov, whose model for consciousness was used as the backbone for both the Gateway Papers and the research into it by the CIA. But he's got some great work. But the video analyzes that to like a crazy degree. But it's really good. Everyone should go check that out if they want to get their mind blown back about how much the government knew. Because I grew up on the Discovery Channel, Alive in '85. I liked all that stuff. I loved all the documentaries and everything. And I remember very, very clearly there was two things that human beings had not cracked yet. One of them was consciousness, and one of them was like, what's the meaning of life? Which are obviously the same thing.
They actually did that very thing. They hooked up one of those deep trance monks to, a bunch of, they basically did a CAT scan MRI of a monk while he's in this trance state, and they're able to show on, the readings that parts of their brain light up that don't normally light up at any other point in time for the majority of people.
It gets crazier than that. It gets more crazy than just kind of confirming that the consciousness is separate than the body. What the Gateway Papers and what Itzhak Bentov's work went into, right, was exactly where and why and what's the function and what systems govern the consciousness and stuff. Though it gets crazier, and to think that I was finding out and learning about in 2003 and 1998 from the top scientists who talk on TV that consciousness has not been cracked. We don't even know what that is. When then you read the Gateway Papers, you're like, oh, they knew what this was this whole time. They knew what this was forever. How much work has been done on the conscious realm in that field without anybody knowing, while they play that they don't know. Just like physics, just like anti-gravity, they play that they don't know, but what they're playing with is actually those tools. Real quick, we got to get over to Al. You're back Randy. Randy, your hand's up. What's going on, man?
I was going to go to Ashton. When you speak about ether, I'm assuming you're playing around with energy inside of a vacuum, correct? Is that what you're doing, Ashton? When you speak of ether?
So I guess the idea is that space isn't really empty. So in quantum mechanics, there's this idea of quantum fluctuations and virtual particles. And to me, I think from a theoretical physics perspective, it makes more sense that what's happening there is there's an interaction between space-time and the underlying framework of the construct that we're in. And that's why we see those same exact behaviors that we call virtual particles and the Casimir effect. And we need a way to be able to explain why, if the Big Bang is true, which, funny enough, I'm not even a huge proponent of it, but if it is, then we need a way to explain how space can expand faster than the speed of light. We know that had to have happened. So then the question is, how does that occur? And if you imagine there's a medium on which our reality and all matter as we see it exists, then that can solve all of those problems. Now, what is that made of? What is pure nothingness? And one thing that we see in physics is there's always an equal and opposite reaction, and that there's symmetry in everything. So to me, and it's been speculated that we have matter and antimatter, and that when the Big Bang happened, the matter and antimatter all annihilated, and then what we were left with is a small percentage of the leftover matter. There was slightly more matter than antimatter, and therefore we have this matter that we see around us. I think that since E equals mc squared and energy equals matter, then you could also argue that maybe there's negative energy. And perhaps then what we see is, and I don't know if this is just me speaking theoretically or how it will really play out in the end, a lot of physics comes down to semantics, is the idea that the ether itself is just a vast well of unlimited negative energy. And that's the interaction that's constantly playing out with our reality.
Well, I appreciate that you question was accepted as is, and just like always, question that and strive for, new understanding. I respect that.
Yeah, I respect that. And I think that just because Tesla was right maybe about the ether doesn't mean that Einstein's wrong about everything. It's one thing that I don't like when people look at science as if it's all absolute. I think that a lot of people can be right and a lot of different theories can be right. And usually the truth is somewhere in the middle. So there's people on me that are now, because there is a lot of elements of flat Earth that are 100% linked with Tesla as well. But just because Tesla was right about the ether doesn't mean that Einstein's wrong about curvature in general. I think it's kind of absurd to think that there's not curvature, especially when everything we see has circles and we rarely see straight lines. But
well, Ashton,
you know,
doesn't, I mean, Eric Davis said this, I think, in the best way, like that Einstein's theory of, you know, space-time being kind of like a fabric that bends and stretches it's literally, he's describing the ether. He's describing a medium in which we exist, right? And so, like, when we look at things like gravitational lensing, some people would see that and go, that's evidence of Einstein, it's evidence that the ether's fake. No, that's the ether. Like, that's the medium. Like, we're inside, like, a piece of glass almost, right? We're inside something. Like, the fish are in water, the planets and everything inside of this universe is inside this thing.
Well, so what I would say here is, just to expand on that even a little bit more, is what I would say is that that's not necessarily the ether, but look at it like if you were to take a painting and take all the paint off and you're able to have the paint itself be something that you can stretch, that's space-time. And then if you were to take that painting and you were to stretch it over the canvas itself is the ether. And you could reach the canvas if you rip away the paint. And imagine that instead, though, with the ether, is that the moment you rip away the painting goes back to normal within like a fraction of a second. And in order to keep that tunnel to the fabric behind the scenes open, you need to have some constant like laser shooting at it that's high powered, for example. And then people probably, when they hear that, they go, well, why hasn't CERN figured this out? There's somebody in my replies earlier was going, no, CERN is the most advanced technology we have. Guys, yeah,
LOL.
CERN should have figured this out. They should have figured this out. The fact that they haven't should tell you that it's probably being suppressed from
Have
CERN.
you ever, sorry, have you guys looked at the list of donors to CERN? The only black hole they're creating is in their fucking accounting department, y'all. That is all non-profit tax-free money. Of course they're wasting it.
Yeah, I guarantee that the private labs have stuff that just makes CERN look like it's just completely useless, honestly. And also, just a quick note, like, Chaotic Good, I don't know where you came from, but if you've been following me this whole time, I was looking through your posts. You've actually retweeted a lot of my stuff. I appreciate your takes. I think you've got really sound, grounded takes on a lot of the stuff that's out there. I like when people can look at it and go, man, like, we should have crazy advanced military tech. Where's our crazy advanced military tech? You know,
I want to see some bang for my buck, motherfuckers. I pay taxes.
Yeah.
I pay taxes.
I love
If they're
too how
gonna
you're
steal
like,
my fucking money, I want to see some goddamn orbs.
yeah, exactly. I love how you're like, I'm glad we have these orbs deployed out there that can protect us. That's how I look at it. I'm like, man, no one's messing with America. I'm glad to be an American. We got crazy orbs that can teleport a plane. Shit, no, good luck with your nukes.
Our
For
money's
real.
not backed by gold anymore, sweetheart. It's backed by the U.S. military.
For real.
The fact that the sky will sing "Fortunate Son" if you fuck with us is what our money is backed with now.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't even care where we got that tech from. I'm just happy we have it. And honestly, a part of me is like, man, if we were preventing China from getting this tech, like, you could probably convince me that it's justified. I mean, it's horrible. It's a horrible act for sure. And I hope we didn't kill all those people, but like, you can see why you would do that. And I could even imagine if it, like, just think of like the idea of like, from a realistic perspective, they come out, we say, yes, we teleported this plane. We wanted to keep this tech. We've got tech that's the super secret, super weapon tech, and we need to maintain safety for Americans. I think a lot of people would be like, nope, they did the right thing. I think like 60% of people.
If they didn't say that for all of the shit that they shouldn't be saving us from, I think people would believe it. I feel
Small
like
price
after
to pay.
weapons of mass destruction, no one is ever going to believe that the same way ever again. A 19-year
Small
war
price to pay.
came from a
Right,
lie.
Ashton? Small price to pay, right, Ashton?
It's
Yeah,
for the
well-
greater good. But who gets to decide what that is? Who
It's
is the one
war.
ultimately without authority to decide Pluto's not a planet anymore?
Did you guys listen to what Tucker said about nukes? And he was saying like how bad it was to drop nukes, and people were just hating on him on social media. Like, no, we did the right thing, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa. That's why I'm thinking about this. I'm going, I think a lot of people would be like, no, it's fine that we teleported that plane. We shouldn't, you know, and they might even come out hard at me and be like, you just gave away our super secret nukes that are even well beyond that. That's what probably scares me the most, where it's like, damn, we might just destroy ourselves, because that mentality will lead to our destruction. I feel
Agreed.
very sure.
Totally agreed. You know what's interesting, Ashton, is that the scientists that you've surrounded yourself with the most are the ones that have philosophy and compassion and ethics. ingrained, right? I remember Pius was saying like we need to bring philosophy back into science. It was they separated it, and it's caused a lot of issues. There was a point in our time. Well, I mean, I'll say this, and we gotta wrap the space up, guys. We've been going for 3 hours, and it's been an amazing space. I absolutely love it. If you don't follow the speakers, please do. But science was created. The scientific method was created by a man named Francis Bacon, who was a religious person, and the Rosicrucians were, they were holistic. They were religious in every sense of the way. They had Eastern and Western philosophies and religions and practices and protocols, and they were trying to improve humankind physically, spiritually, intellectually. And they sensed through their religious order that they could trace back to Egypt, right? They sensed that mankind was changing, that our intellect was growing in a certain way, and they wanted to offer, avenues for it to go down constructively to basically bring us out of the dark ages. And one
they're still around, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
My son's father is one.
For sure. And when they created the scientific method, they did so out of a way to combine both spirituality and like intellect in a way that worked, right? And that was science. And so I think it's interesting now that people who look at science, they sometimes look at it as anti-religious or anti-philosophical, that it's the numbers are cold, facts are facts, the science doesn't lie. But in reality, the birth of our scientific method came from a different place. And I think if people considered that, they might be able to expand what they think is going on. And again, people like Dave Rossi, Salvatore Pius, even Jack Sarfati with his wild antics, these guys incorporate this into it. And I think that gives us hope. Right, that gives me hope for what's to come. If the people breaking through these walls are actually doing so with with their heart in mind too, that's good, because we got to have people who have our best interests in mind, and who see the world as if they improve it, that helps them out personally. When I think we've been saturated with the Wall Street vibe since the probably late 70s, that go, make what you can, everything sucks, and it's really made us kind of shitty. So but yeah, real quick, we got Chris in the mix. I want to let up Tiffany, Stoned Ape. These are big supporters, longtime fans, longtime friends, so I want to give them a chance to say what's up before I dip out. But go ahead, Chris, and then we'll get over to Stoned Ape.
Yeah, hey, thanks for hosting the space, and it's good to see everybody and Ashton. So I was just wondering how your show with Glenn Beck went. I actually used to watch Glenn Beck on Fox News, but I didn't get to watch or listen to your podcast yet. But I think it's a big step forward, and congratulations for being on. And yeah, how did it go?
Yeah, it went well, man. And when you I don't think, has Glenn Beck even done like UFO stuff before? Like, to me, that I think it's a big
I don't think
move.
so.
Yeah, I can't think of
That's not
any.
his deal, y'all. He's a boomer.
Yeah, he's a boomer.
He's gonna talk about some Area 51 shit with you.
Yeah, I mean, just to get to a mainstream audience, I think that's big. A lot of people would have criticized me for being a distraction or what have you, but I think that this story can bring UFOlogy to the mainstream in a way that is acceptable to a lot of normie brain people that are out there.
Thanks for being here, Lex.
Which is another benefit of it.
It's a really interesting space.
I truly do think this is our technology, but I think that's a huge bonus too. Because I think a lot of people do get turned off by the idea of aliens, and people think there's this Project Blue Book and that aliens are a distraction. And I don't know, but I think that when you look at it like this, in terms of kind of what Chaotic Good was just talking about a second ago as well, in terms of that technology that's out there and the secret weapons we have out there, I think it can bring credibility to the entire UFO community, where more people will begin to look at it and go, huh, what is the nature of this technology? Did we really just develop this ourselves or help somehow in the past? So I thought it was an awesome interview. I don't really like the radio format. With all the commercials, I was gonna make a joke about the dog food commercial that comes up on it, but I didn't have enough time. Honestly, I really did not have enough time. I had to get in so much stuff. I had a whole list of notes, and I'm like, shit, I gotta speed this up. So I hope
Must have been a nightmare. That must have been a nightmare. I can only imagine. But
he was super nice.
I'm excited to listen to it.
More adversarial. I thought he was gonna come down hard and maybe even try to bring up some of the debunk stuff, and I was ready for all that. But it does make me kind of want to do a more long form debate with somebody who's more serious. It's just I don't know who that person would be in general. I mean, So yeah. Anyway,
let me know if you need a moderator for that debate. I would love a first
Skyfighter News official moderators.
That's how we do it. No, that'd be awesome, man. Getting a good debate, a solid back and forth with some real pros, I think is what this topic needs. 100%. 100%. Good question, Chris. And I got to dive into that too. I asked Ashton the same thing. I'm like, man, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. But I can't wait to watch it. Good work on that, Ashton. We got Stoned Ape. Then we're going to get over to Chaotic Good, and we'll close this bad boy out.
I was just coming up to talk about that sighting in Palm Springs that was seen in Arizona, Finland, Ukraine.
Which one? The blue light one or the red light one?
Yeah, that big blue light.
Yeah, what is that?
SpaceX launch. I don't know. I have literally been researching like almost your whole space, and I found so many posts that correlate to it, a news article, and it looks just like when the booster separates on SpaceX, but there wasn't a launch on the West Coast for SpaceX after 11:30 a.m. yesterday. This was at 9:30 p.m.
Y'all.
Pacific time. So there was no rocket launch.
It did look exactly like one. I was waiting to find out. Thank you so much, Tiff, for looking into that. That's now this is juicy. What was it? What was it? What was it? A foreign country launching something, or was it just something altogether something different?
The fact that it could be sighted in Arizona, California, made me feel like it was on the West Coast. But then after hearing that it was also sighted in Finland and Ukraine, I feel like it was over the Pacific, or maybe a little closer. So I have no clue. Somebody's testing something, or like they're, I don't know, being less secure about their sightings.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look into this. We might cover this tomorrow, maybe Monday. Thank you. And if you guys don't follow Stoned Ape, please do. A lot of great UFO news, breaking news, good memes. Give Stoned Ape a follow. And we got to get over to our new friend of the show, Chaotic Good. A lot of us are impressed with your takes on this stuff. It's good.
I feel like a prom queen.
There you go. It's hard to find like-minded people out there. Give Chaotic Good a follow too. Go ahead.
I have a side quest for you guys, y'all. I come in peace, but I come with a side mission. So for those, and Ashton, I saw your messages pop up, but I got to plug. I'm running low on battery here. I'll toggle and talk to you here in a second. My origin story is the GameStop squeeze. If y'all want to know where I came from, go on to Netflix or Amazon and watch the movie Dumb Money, because Ben Mesrick is my boy. What? So I have noticed, speaking of Wall Street, they are absolutely involved in some of the wild and wacky shit we have been seeing lately. And not just Sam Bankman-Fried eating a cucumber in jail. No. Nay. Citadel hired Scientel to build military-grade, high-frequency towers outside of Chicago against everybody's best interest, against all environmental regulations. He bought out the mayor to make it happen. Somebody keeps blacking out the Schumann resonance equipment every fucking time the stock market soars. I have screenshots of it. I can fucking prove it, and no one can explain this to me. Natural phenomenon do not black out the Schumann resonance equipment.
You guys hear that? New challenge. Okay, we got to figure this out. This sounds juicy. I'm really into it. Schumann resonance, that's right up a lot of our alleys. You know what I mean? Wall Street conspiracies.
No. I thought you guys might like this one. That's why I brought it to y'all first. I've been asking the peeps. I've been asking my people out in the Discord server. I said, hey, man, am I crazy? What do y'all think about this? It is not a coincidence. On no less than 3 occasions, when GameStop and AMC squeeze, did the Schumann resonance equipment black out? And I think it's because those goddamn towers Citadel had put in that go to the fucking moon. They're not supposed to have those. And the military contractors that build them for places like Park built them these towers. I think there's something to it, y'all. It's too, y'all see me. I'm all about chaos theory, so you see me looking for coincidences every time. I like baseball rules 3 times. 3 times. I like baseball. You know what? You can't argue 3 times. The magic number is 3. We'll see this a lot, including with the awards, including with everything Ashton's doing, including everything. The magic number is always 3. If I see something come up 3 times and I'm like, that shit's suspicious, chances are I'm right, y'all. That's the rule with in the brave new world. What is your conspiracy theory correct? I don't know. How many fucking coincidences have you seen lately?
No, and I think 3 is the magic number. It was 3
Three
orbs
is the magic
around
number.
MH370.
You know,
3 is the magic number, guys.
I'm a woman of science. We gotta.
As we can see.
We need to rebrand Chaos good and get her involved in the UFO community more. I don't know where you came from, but I'm loving your attitude and personality here. We need more.
Okay, you're in good company. Guys, give everybody a follow up here. We're following Ashton Forbes' story. We're following everything we can. Skyfire News has been giving you guys daily UFO updates for the whole year since January. Really glad you guys are here riding along with these spaces with our YouTube channel drama that's going on. Thanks for following us all over on Tupacabra's YouTube channel while we get the other one fixed up. We got shows, interviews, media content, movies, shorts, all kinds of stuff coming your way. Make sure you give Skyfire News a follow along with my co-host and partner, Red Panda Koala. He's got a crazy YouTube channel. It probably broke a lot of doors down and got a lot of people interested in the topic. Red Panda Koala, while he's probably driving right now, is a trendsetter and a revolutionary when it comes down to this stuff. Go follow his YouTube channel and figure out why so many people are talking about what he does. And again, thank you for all the speakers. We got Heather Birdie in the mix. We got Chris Meyer. I want to say thank you and sorry for everybody who was requesting who couldn't get up. A lot of it was glitches. As you know, these are spotty things, and if I hit request and it doesn't get the thing, it's just one of those deals. We'll be hosting more spaces. Of course, if you want to get down and dirty with spaces often, follow Stoned Ape, follow Logan, follow me, follow Red. We're always in here. We think this is the best way to connect with the community. They're very, very accessible and very convenient, and we all just like to be on our phones talking about UFOs. So if you like to do the same thing, give us a follow. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tupacabra Red Panda with Skyfire News saying thank you, good night, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. I'll be honest with you, the audience. I don't know if I actually was able to end the space because it was pretty glitchy. Okay. It says it's still going, in fact. And so I guess we're going to see if it's still going. But guys, I'm going to end this stream and we're going to catch you guys tonight on Tupacabra, because what we're going to be doing is watching The Blob. So if you guys like older movies, okay, we're watching The Blob from 1958. And we're watching old commercials that pop up like this.
One of the ways Ryder makes your move easier is by renting trucks with automatic transmission. Because moving doesn't have to be an uphill battle. Ryder, we're there when you need us.
Isn't that fun? Isn't it fun to watch old commercials? And The Blob. Okay, so that's what we're doing tonight at 11 p.m. That's about an hour, actually. So join us for that. Until next time, guys, that was the first time I streamed a space. I hope you all liked it. And then, yeah, peace out. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the like if you guys did. We got more content coming your way. Peace out, guys.